I mean,
maybe
yeah.
that would stick though. Maybe you could be the Andreas. Maybe you could be the one.
The one. Obi-Wan Kenobi.
There can only be one. But Andreas, it is a pleasure to have you here, sir, in Ruse Radio episode 10555. That is right. We are back again. Tell the people what you do. If they're just now meeting you, how would you introduce yourself to the people?
I would introduce myself as, hi, I'm Andres.
It's a good way to start.
Yeah, definitely, you know. What I do is film work and do directing, acting. I also do a bit of stand-up comedy. I love to do music, play a little guitar, make some beats sometimes. So I do a mix of stuff. I'm just an artist that loves to create.
What makes you want to do all those different things? Like, why are you attracted to so many different things?
So many things, man. Music, like, it just brings joy and, like, you know, it's feel good to your soul. Like, so, I don't know. I love music because it's healing, especially with guitar. Just when you're strumming, the rhythm, the sound, it's booming. It's just, you feel amazing.
I think it is like a transcendent experience. I feel as if I'm outside of myself in such a way when I'm truly into a song, like into a performance. To me, that is where life, it truly is found for me as a person. Like, I love performing and doing music. I really do, like, in a spiritual way. I find it to be so much better than everything else I do. So I know what you're saying, bro.
Yeah.
Because it's like, there's a reason people get so into a song. Like, there's something about that where you can just put everything else away for a moment and feel whatever that is. Like, that's an experience. That is something to behold, you know. It's not because we're so inundated with it and we see it all the time. We hear songs all the time now. It's like you can forget what that is. But like, you go to a great concert, it's like, oh my God, I remember what music is.
No, I love concerts, man. I went to one a few weeks ago. Caloncho is the artist's name.
Okay.
Yeah, his like, my friend introduced me to him and like the music and stuff. And man, that shit's like great vibes. Like, he has a song called Optimist or Optimistico. Like, yeah.
Nice.
It's really, yeah.
So it's positive.
It's positive vibes, yeah. I always like listening to some good vibes, especially like reggae, Bob Marley, or a mix of like Sister Nancy, you know.
Yeah.
Beanie Man, Sean Paul, like, so.
Yeah. Because there's something about that kind of music that I really liked. You know, one song, it's like, what is it? It's Somewhere Over the Rainbow, but it's by that Hawaiian dude.
Israel. I forget his name. It's with a K.
But it's amazing.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
There's something like melancholy about that one in particular. It's happy, but it's also sad.
Oh yeah, and it's soothing as well. I mean, he has an amazing voice, and I found out that I saw like a reel or a small video like showing that he did it all in one take.
I saw that. I think I saw that. Like, it was at 3 or 4 in the morning.
Yeah,
or something.
yeah. He just went. He's like, yeah. He got. I think he like gathered his money together and just like for a studio session, one studio session for like, I think it was 30 minutes.
I would say that's one of the best songs of all time. I would really say that.
You play it anywhere, like, it's gonna always be.
You can play that shit at the club, bro.
Yeah, everybody would know that shit.
Yeah.
Everybody be somewhere over the rainbow.
It's beautiful.
Yeah. I love that.
Yeah, dude. Wow. And again, like, there's something to be said about what that song is doing. Like, it's not even about exactly everything he's saying. Like, there's something beautifully transcendent about a song like that. It kind of takes you away from yourself. That's such a fucking awesome song. And a lot of like Bob Marley. Bob Marley's really good. Like I like uplifting music. I like music that feels like it's meant to lift you up or something.
No,
like
definitely.
I get fucking annoyed because so much music, like I'll hear music where it's like it's kind of like there's this newer thing where like it's like depression music where they're making music about being depressed, and that's like okay, it's relatable and all, but
I mean,
that doesn't lift me up. It kind of locks me in.
No, yeah, the thing with depression music, basically, like all the pill popping and all this stuff. Like,
dude.
you know, I sip on the purple, all this shit.
You know, like, I can nod my head and I can vibe, I guess, but like, you're not taking anybody out the gutter right now.
No, it's like I'm going what you're going through. I understand. Okay, thanks, but how's that gonna help me?
Yeah, yes, because like I religiously believe that there's something you can do. Like there's a certain responsibility that comes with making music and having that type of influence. And like, not to say anybody's good or bad, just that like when you have that, you could do amazing things. Like you can do so much with that, but then so many people just squander it and talk about some bullshit, bro. Like you could be doing beautiful things. I like Optimistico. That's a great, that's what made me think about all that too, because that is a great thing that that's what this guy's doing. It sounds like just making some positive vibe music. Well, can we bring reggae back? Can reggae have like a revival? That'd be awesome.
That'd be great.
If reggae was big again, Snoop tried. Snoop Lion, he tried.
Snoop Lion. I mean, there's still some great reggae artists out there. Man, one, I don't know if you've ever heard of Revolution.
No.
They have a song that's you gotta listen to. It's called Green Smoke to Black.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's reggae.
Yeah, it's like it's reggae. They're like from Colorado.
And they're newer.
They're newer, but well, they came out like I think in early or mid 2000s.
Hey, if they're still around,
and they're still around. Like
yeah.
I have one of my friends from high school. He actually like smoked with them and all that stuff because he lives out there. So he was like he showed me photos and stuff. It was super dope.
Yeah.
And then man, have you ever been to Colorado?
No, I don't think so. I haven't been too far on like that side because Colorado, if I'm looking at a map and I'm not stupid, I think it's like around the middle of America towards the south, right?
More, like southwest, probably.
Southwest, okay. So that's
or a little, it's a little.
It's not neighboring.
It's still west. It's neighboring to
California. California.
No, it's probably like neighboring Arizona or Nevada, around there.
Yeah, because I was gonna say I haven't really been to like the central and then the southwest.
Because I know New Mexico. Because actually, when I did that road trip I was talking to you about earlier, I did what's the name? A detour because I went to New Mexico, Arizona, from Arizona to Colorado, and then from Colorado to New Mexico.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And that was the thing is, I haven't seen that much of the country, so I would guess that's like a lot of culture shock even driving through that, right? And it looks a lot different over there.
Oh yeah, the terrain's more flat out there.
Yeah.
So like driving on it is it's smooth. But it was crazy. Like this one guy almost caused an accident. Yeah. Because he was behind me. He decided to go around. I had to brake because what's it called? There was a fucking one of those big transportation buses, like a Greyhound or something, coming, and he almost hit it, and he had to swerve back real quick.
Oh my Lord.
Yeah. So motherfuckers drive crazy though too on the highway. It's a fun but scary experience.
Yeah, and it should be experienced at some point. It should be experienced. You know what? That could even change. We get these self-driving cars everywhere, and then all of a sudden we don't have these crazy, fun highway stories anymore. You know, like that's what makes us human, almost dying on the highway, if you ask me. We actually need a little bit of that in our lives. You do need to have something. You know, I'm joking to an extent. Like, you kind of do have to go through that type of shit to, like, remember, like, what life is all about. Driving cross-country is a real fun thing to do. Oh, yeah. That's one of those things where you don't don't realize probably until you do it, like how valuable such an experience is.
Yeah.
Basically, what I'm saying here is sometimes you need to blow your own mind. Sometimes you need an experience that is mind-blowing. And some of us, we can offer that to people. We can find those experiences, we can seek them out, and we can also find people who blow our minds. And those are people you want to keep around, those professional mind blowers of the world. That's right. Up in here, we identify as professional mind blowers, and we've got merch to boot. We got to let them know that we are professional mind blowers, folks. So this is how you do it. You buy yourself a professional mind blower t-shirt, and we are selling them now for $25. Awesome way to support the show. We got smalls, medium, and larges in stock. If you need a different size, just let me know, and we will make it happen, all right? This is our latest endeavor. It's the easiest way to support the show, and you get yourself a little knick-knack, a little conversation starter. As a part of the operation, you get to be a part of our group here. That's pretty fun. If you also want to support the show in a different way, you don't want to buy a shirt, but you do want to support what we're doing, the other way to do that is Patreon. $5 a month, and you will get exclusive content, exclusive music. Ruse is a rapper, Ruse is a music man, but you also just get to have the joy of knowing that you are helping make this show a professional piece of art, okay? This is what I want to do for my life, and the only way we get that done is by making some money here. Okay, so please help me do that. Please support the show if you like what we're doing, and we will make it out the gutter. All right, let's hear more about driving cross country.
The only thing, man, is driving through like rainy weather and stuff, or like if a thunderstorm. Yeah, because one time when I was driving through Oklahoma, like it was like a thunderstorm, like kind of like almost a tornado, but not a tornado.
Mm-hmm.
But the wind gusts were high, and like I was driving in this fucking weather instead of pulling over like my crazy ass, but I fucking went through it almost, and there was an accident. I almost fucking hit a car, like the car that was in the accident, because it was like I didn't see it in the lanes. That's how like foggy and like rainy it was.
Yeah, but you were all right.
No, I was right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm still here.
Yeah. Dude, one time, it was my mom's car, and I was younger, so I wouldn't do this now. But I was driving home from Flint to like another city about like I would say like 15 minutes away. And so I'm on the highway, and I was in a convertible Mustang, so the top's off, and then it starts like pouring rain. And so I just leaned in and just drove until I had to like get off the highway. I just kept going, right? I didn't stop.
Where's the rain surge like fucking?
Dude, that shit was crazy, dude. I remember like the rain's coming down around me, but it was, I made it. Okay, I made it. So there's I wouldn't do that now. I regret that story. Like when I hear that back, I'm like, what the fuck did I do?
Yeah. Right. You think back to like, damn, did I really do that shit?
It's nice to know that I'm smarter than I used to be. That's actually the positive outlook on it.
Because we learn from our mistakes. Like, we'll do some crazy shit. We'll fucking survive it. And we're like, damn.
Yes. And only in retrospect you realize how crazy this shit really was. Mm-hmm. You don't really realize how crazy this shit you're doing is in the moment. And then later on you're like, damn, I was a crazy motherfucker. Like, what the fuck was I doing? Mm-hmm. Do you have any stories in your life where you like think back and you're like, damn, I did some crazy shit right there?
Yeah, man. I have quite a few stories.
Are there any you're proud enough to share on Roost Radio? Is there any good stories? I'm trying to think if I got a good enough one.
Man. Well, like, depends. Like, good fun story, bad fun, like, crazy story.
Let's go crazy story. Damn. Crazy story is what the people love.
Man, one time I got into a fight at a strip club. It was crazy. But it was on the outside. It was more like I was protecting my family, like me and my cousin. So, but yeah, we whooped some guy's ass. And,
outside the strip. Now, was this like post being in the strip club, or was
it was just because like I just went to go check up on my cousin, and then all of a sudden like fight was about to break out. So we ended up fucking him up, and and then we went,
Kids,
went
this
home.
is why you don't go to the strip club.
Yeah,
kids.
don't go to the strip club. It's
Bad
dangerous.
shit goes down at the strip club.
It's dangerous. Yeah, but yeah. Other than that, too, I mean, I've had crazy experiences. Had like 6 near-death experiences.
No shit. 6?
Yeah. So
Damn, you can count on more than one hand.
Yeah.
How many near-death experiences?
Yeah.
Damn. I have maybe one. Wow.
Yeah.
Nice. That I feel like near-death experiences fuck you up a little bit every time. It's
I feel like each one makes you wiser, I guess, you know?
Yeah.
Then you're like, fuck.
It's like Infinity Stones with Thanos.
But some of them were like, okay, maybe it was me, and the others were like, shit just happened.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Yeah, so.
Yeah. Life, yes. Yes, but that's a tough one, because looking back, you can only really consider like what could I have changed, like what could I have done differently. But you're right. Sometimes the circumstances are literally like, what the fuck, dude? Yeah.
No, yeah, man.
Life kind of happens to you sometimes. I came up with this idea, and I don't know if this is like, it's probably said somewhere, but I think like for the first half of your life, for a certain period of life, you happen to life. Then at a certain point for everybody, I shouldn't say half, because it's really at a different point for everybody, life begins to happen to you. So for a while you happen to life, and then at one point all that flips, and then life starts to happen to you. And I think there's a lot of validity to that. But I think that's what fucks a lot of kids up, is life happens to them when they're 8 years old, whereas like other people get to wait till they're 20. You know, life fucks you up, dude.
It does.
Yeah.
I mean,
but it makes you a person.
Yeah, makes you who you are, you know. The qualities that you have, like, bring to the table. Like, everybody does everything differently, you know. And some people, you know, can get along, and others just like, what the fuck? Like, why aren't you like me? Like, you know, it's like, why aren't you like me? Like, you know.
I think it's a lot of that becomes like a reflection of themselves at that point, you know, like they just see flaws in shit because they see flaws in themselves. Like most of the time, people who are cool with themselves are cool with everything else. They're just like, I guess this is the way shit is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if you just like, it's not accepting it, but if you go with the flow of life or how things are, you know. But
that's why reggae is great.
Yeah.
It teaches you these things.
You got to be tuning to the own beat of. Yeah, the own beat of your own
Tune to the beat of your own drum. Is that what it is?
Yes.
I don't know if maybe I've heard that quote before. Play to the beat of your own drum.
Yeah, basically, like, you know,
play to the tune of your own drum.
Because you know, when you do your own thing, people are like, oh, like, that's pretty cool. Like, you know, so just being yourself.
And I think like what I try to emphasize too is like I feel like people don't realize that often people like you for those inherent qualities you have in yourself, however unique they might be. Like if you find a way to translate yourself properly, people usually like you. Like you'll find the people that like you.
Yeah.
Not everybody's gonna like you, but that's like the nature of it. Yeah. So it's just thinking about, because to me, I don't give a fuck if someone doesn't, like, I resonate with the moments when I'm having a good time with someone else. I'm like, oh, I was achieving my purpose there. Whereas, like, if somebody doesn't see what I'm doing, like, this, like, why would I get so, that's why I can't use social media, dude. I try so hard not to, because that shit is not real. Like, in real life, people don't fucking come on you like that, bro. Like, people are fucking mean, bro.
Nah, man.
Coming all over you, bro. Good on social media.
Dude, social media just is like, excuse me.
It's ruthless, dude.
No, yeah, man.
Ruthless. Like, they're so mean.
No, yeah.
They'll cyberbully you.
People just talk shit for no reason. It's like, who made you miserable? Like, you know, it's like, only you can make yourself miserable, you know, if you allow things like from others to affect you or like bring you down, like, or if you give too much of yourself to, you know, if you don't set boundaries for yourself, if you don't like work on just just being the best version of you.
Yeah, because that's what I was kind of getting at with, like, when you're thinking about those decisions, like the only thing you can think about is what you would change. Like, you can only really change your own actions, and I think that is what changes everything around you, though. Like, when you are able to change yourself, you can change the world. It's a beautiful. I should be a motivational speaker.
Yeah.
But that really is what it's about.
No,
'Cause,
definitely.
even like with working out, dude. Like, I'm slacking right now. I've not been going to the gym.
Same, man. I've been slacking, but I'm actually, you know, you were at the Red Room, man. I'm gonna be doing the Chicago Marathon, so like,
Oh yeah,
that's my motivator right now. Like, you know, all right, I gotta buckle down. I gotta like be disciplined and just, you know, push myself, make a commitment.
A marathon is 26 miles.
26.2.
See, like, so that to me, I know I could run a marathon if I wanted to, but like when I run, I usually only do like 3 miles at most. Nice. And that's like top speeds though. Like I'm going 8 miles an hour or something, 7.5 miles an hour.
Like you're pushing yourself.
Yeah, exactly. So in a marathon, I think like what? 3 hours, 27 miles. What's the speed of that? Isn't it like an average of like 6? I've done the math on this before because I'm trying to think. Like, I heard people say like a 2-hour marathon is crazy. Like, if you did in 2 hours, that's wild.
Well, yeah, like the one guy who did it last year, I think he did it here in Chicago.
Really?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, he did
2
it.
hours.
2 hours. Yeah, his speed is like, that's crazy. He's just nonstop.
But that's conditioning, though. That's what I'm getting at. Is
Yeah.
that it's all about building up how long you can run, more so than it is about like running as fast as you can.
Yeah, building your endurance.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Because 26 miles, 26.2, you say? That's a long ass. Like, if you run a lot, it actually doesn't feel like as much. But if you don't normally run and you just throw yourself into those 26 miles, like, you will fuck yourself up. Like, 10 miles in, you'll be like, oh my God, what am I doing here? But if you ran for the last month, then it's different. So, you have how long until the race? When is it?
It's not until October 12th of 2025.
Oh,
so
you registered that early?
Well, yeah, no, that's the only time like you got to register like early right now. Like, yeah, because I think the deadline it just passed on the 20th. So, but yeah, man, like, so I registered for it and I was like, you know, I'm a commit commit to this and commit to myself and just fucking grow. Like,
what's your plan? Do you have a game plan for how you're gonna like tackle this? You got a year now.
I got a year now. Well, I spoke to a friend who's ran like 2 marathons and she was telling me like, yeah, like she was giving me all the info. She's like, yeah, you need this, you need that. You're going to need these running shoes. You're going to need like a running watch. You're going to need a bunch of stuff basically to just prep yourself. And then she was telling me about these marathon training programs. And I saw that there's a winter one that's here with I forget the running club. It's like CARA. It's like an acronym. I forget for what I think running or Chicago Association of Running. I don't know, but basically like, yeah. So there's a winter training program that I'm probably gonna join within the next month or so.
Nice. And can they train you how to run?
Basically, like you run through any weather condition, and I mean winter is probably gonna be like one of the toughest running seasons.
Run on this ice right here.
Well, yeah, I mean, but have you ever ran in snow? You know, as a kid,
I can run
in Michigan.
I can run in snow, but it's like you have to step different, and you have to have the right shoes on.
And you gotta raise your knees. You gotta do really high knees. Like,
yeah.
So
like what I usually like. I'm trying to think of how I would verbalize this because I do walk different in snow. I think I like kind of plant my feet a little harder. Like I kind of make that
use
like a
your
forceful
heel,
thing. Yeah.
weighty.
Because it's like you dig in, so you're not gonna fucking slip on your ass. Because if you're trying to walk fast, like I walk fast, so I'm like trying to keep my pace in the snow. I think that's what it is. But like, is there anything else that would help you? So you lift your knees up. They probably would train you this shit. This is probably what they're going to tell you in the class. They'll be like, listen, you want to run in the snow. This is what you got to do.
Yeah, and then I mean, hill running too. Hill running's pretty good.
Oh yeah, that'd be a whole other thing.
Yeah,
running uphill.
Because of the incline.
I mean, that would be like you have to angle your it's about the ankles at that point, I think, right?
Yeah, it works like from the ankles to shins, like the full legs. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it builds like endurance,
I love
speed.
running.
Yeah.
Do you like running?
Yeah, man. It's grown. Honestly, like as a kid, like I was always the big kid, but I would love to run, like sprint. So and like, I mean, I feel like I'm pretty fast for my size.
Would you do you use a treadmill? Like, do you track your running at all?
I use the Nike Run Club app right now to keep track of my miles when I'm running or something.
So how many miles would you typically, like, if you were doing a run?
Well, lately it's been depends on the day. Like sometimes I'll just do a mile a day in the morning, or what's it called? I'll do like 2 to 3 miles. I'll try to do like a 30-minute run, just run at a certain pace and just keep going.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Because my problem is I never really, like, I guess I do walk and run with my dog when I walk my dog. Like, that motherfucker, he will let me run with him if I run with him. Like, we'll run. He'll go 10 miles an hour, I swear to God.
Yeah.
So I would say I probably do, like, a lot of walking outside. But the only time I ever really track it is when I'm on a treadmill at the gym. And so, like, that's how I know I could do, like, 20 minutes. In 20 minutes, I could run probably 2.5 to 3 miles for sure. Like if I was running the whole time.
Wow.
I should have done track, bro. It drives me crazy. I really should have done
You still
track.
can?
I still could, right? Catch Bruce in the Olympics, guys.
Gold medalist.
Yeah, bro. There's a future for me yet. But like, I love running. I love it. Like more than any other type of working out. I just feel like it's like, to me, it's a Zen exercise. Like it allows me to put everything else aside. And in this moment, all I can really do is run. It's kind of like performing. Like if you were to go into a marathon, to me, that would be awesome because all these other people are doing the same exact thing as you. So like that would help so much with that mindset of like, I'm just going to run this 26 miles. That's a big thing to do. But you got 300 people surrounding you all doing that.
Yeah, you're just like, fuck. Like, like I remember I ran the Mag Mile 5K back like think in June or July. I forget, or actually September. But anyways, like I just remember I was running and then people were just going past me. I'm like, fuck. All right, it's just me against myself. Like, let's fucking go.
In last place.
It's like, I don't give a fuck. I just gotta finish this shit. And then at one point, like you're just like, fuck it. I'm just gonna walk for a bit. They're like, you see people running. You're like, fuck. All right, let's get back into this.
Yeah.
So
there's one breathing exercise I heard like Andrew Huberman say one time, and I never forget it because it was like if you have like that feeling in your stomach that happens where it's like your stomach hurts from running. That's what he said. But it's also like if you're out of breath, you just take like one big breath in, like, and then at the very end, you take that one extra little breath I just did right there, like as big as the breath you can take, and then just a little bit extra, and then a normal exhale. And you do that like 5 or 10 times. That shit really works. Like if you're out of breath from running, and then you just do that like 10 times, your breath comes back, bro. That shit's real. So, or if you have that like stitch in your stomach feeling, like it's something about the oxygen. I don't know. I'm not a scientist, okay, but it works. The shit works.
Crazy.
But like breathing exercises, I imagine if you studied those for a marathon, that'd actually probably help a lot.
I would definitely look and research into that because like I want to like learn a bit of everything.
It's endurance.
Like, how to make myself be like the fucking.
It's conditioning. Like you got to condition yourself is really what that whole thing is. Because I think like. I don't know. Like, as long as you do the running beforehand and you, like, build up to, I can run 10 miles. I can just go outside and run 10 miles. Like, once you're there, can't imagine it would be a big jump from that to 20. I don't know, though. Maybe it would. But, like, going from 1 to 10 is probably way different than going from 10 to 20. Yeah. And so, I don't know. I want to do a marathon. You're making me want to do it. I'm thinking maybe I should sign up, dude, because I feel like I could kill this shit. I've always said this. You know, the other thing is they do a race up the stairs of the Sears Tower.
I want to do that, actually.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Yeah.
I like...
I can run up some fucking stairs.
Dude, I climbed not really climbed, but like hiked up Grouse Mountain in Canada.
Yeah.
And dude, like when I saw it on my Apple like health thing, basically said like I went up like the same amount of like stair levels as the
100 stories?
Yeah.
No shit.
That's what it seemed. That's what.
How
it
fast did
seemed
you
like
do it?
Probably like in 3 hours.
Not bad. But
Yeah,
that's different
3,
because that's a
4,
whole
yeah.
different terrain.
Yeah, 3-4 hours just because I was hiking with somebody, so I can't leave somebody behind.
If I was running, it would have been 1 hour, okay?
Yeah, we'll just be like.
Because I looked at the times for the fucking Sears Tower. I swear to God, it was like the record is like 30 minutes or something, like 35. I can't remember.
That's
I'm
fucking
probably getting it
crazy.
wrong. I could beat the record, dude. I can run up some fucking stairs.
Do it.
I swear to God.
I'll do it for just for the heck of it, man.
That sounds so fun.
Because it's just a workout.
Yeah.
And I mean, yeah, man. It's
100 stories ain't that much. To run up like a 100-story building, like you could do that. Like that's not that much.
But you gotta remember, it's just a nonstop incline. Like
What I used to do to work out is I would it was nice because I had a room upstairs and then there was a downstairs section, like the house I was in. So I would just carry weights up and down the stairs, and I would just I'd be carrying not crazy weights, just like 15 pounds worth of weights, just up and down the stairs. And I would do that. I'd count. It'd be like 100 times, and I swear I could do that in because I would, I wouldn't just go slow. I'd like go up and down the stairs. I swear to God, I could do that in like 30 minutes up and down. And so I'm cutting that in half, like 15 minutes. 15 minutes to go up 100 stories. Like, dude, I could kill that shit, dude. I remember like back then I'm looking at the times like I could beat this. I could totally beat. But I don't know how many staircases are there. Is there going to be some guy in my way that I have to like kind of try to go around him
be like behind you, it's just
on your left.
It's like, hey, can you move faster? It's like,
An old man like trying to get up the stairs in front
I'm
of
going
me.
as fast as I can. I'm doing it. I feel like a young whippersnapper.
The fuck am I supposed to set a record like that? But that is. I'm glad that you've heard of that. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Because see if you're into that kind of shit, you would like a marathon. That's that shit gets me excited. I read that. I'm like,
dude.
Yeah, this
And
sounds
the
fun.
adrenaline, like the feeling is just nice too. Like, yeah, that runner's high. I feel it's real,
It's real, and it's so good for you to just experience that. It's like it's just like a good workout. Like when you lift weights and your body feels a little bit better. It's the same exact thing, except like I don't know. Like for me, the cardiovascular thing, like that must be. I feel like I have a theory that everything in life's about facing resistance, right? And so, like with that type of resistance, it's a whole different thing. That's like what your body can handle. You're pushing your body to the limit, and like a good run, you'll be pushing your body for a long time during it. And you feel more powerful after you did that. Like, oh, I just overcame that resistance, and then you can face more and more and more and more resistance the more you practice that, and then. That makes you just feel better normally because you like now you're chilling normally. You're like, dude, I could do anything right now. Like, you don't have that. And I say all this, and I haven't ran a mile in fucking 3 or 4 weeks, dude. It's pissing me off.
Yeah, I ran a mile on Tuesday. Yeah, it felt good. Like, I didn't like really push myself hard. I just like kept the pace, and then like. I didn't even realize I ran like a 12-minute pace. I was like, "Oh, that's not bad." Yeah,
not especially if you're not pushing yourself at all.
Yeah, like
casual
it's
12
been
minutes.
it's been a minute since I last ran. Like I fucking hurt my foot. Like
It's 5 miles an hour. That's what that would be. 12,
Wow.
24, 36, 48, 60. It's 5 miles an hour.
It's not. That's not bad. I'm just chilling. I'm cruising. Like,
And you said, what about your foot?
no, I injured my foot like on a trip. So
Oh, hell no.
yeah, so like I was out of commission for a little bit.
Yeah.
but like it's healed up. So now I'm like ready to go back into it.
Yeah, dude. People do those marathons without feet. They'll have like those
Barefoot shoes, I think. Like
what?
no, like I don't know, like the ones that like are basically they like surround your toe.
I don't know about
I've seen those, yeah, like
on a marathon?
Maybe, who knows? That'd
People
be
do
crazy
that
if somebody ran it barefoot, right?
I bet someone. If you can say the sentence, it probably has happened at least once, right? Like
Yeah.
the rules of the universe, that has to have happened. Someone has to have done that. There's no way that no crazy motherfucker was like, "Hey, I'm gonna run this barefoot," and then did and like got second place or something crazy. Like,
That's funny.
I won't say he got first.
Damn.
Maybe he did.
He almost did, man. Yeah. The underdog story.
The barefoot runner.
Yeah, the
that's
barefoot
like
runner.
That's a Netflix movie right here.
Yes, we're gonna make the barefoot runner.
That could be a comedy. That could be the dramedy right there.
Yeah.
That would be a great dramedy.
It's like, what if it was Forrest Gump?
And it's this up and coming, story. Like this guy's, he's not the brightest, but he's a really good runner. He's really good.
I just kept running and running, and then one day I just stopped.
And everybody's got to, like, of course, you got to have people pick on him, like the other marathoners. They make fun of him and they tease him because he's not the brightest. And so you get that sympathy, right? You get the easy sympathy from the audience.
Yeah.
And then, like, maybe we could even, like, rip off Forrest Gump directly. Like, maybe.
Have you ever read those books?
There's books?
Yeah, they're originally books.
Oh, dude, I had no idea. No
Yeah.
shit. Forrest Gump was a book?
Yeah, it was a book before it became a.
Is it called Forrest Gump?
Yeah, it's Forrest Gump. The first one, and then the second one I think is like a different title. So.
Nice. And is it the same thing? Like, is it?
No, it's completely different because the author, Winston, I forget his name, but he basically wrote the book. They Hollywood, of course, loved the book. And they wanted him to write the screenplay, but he didn't know how to write a screenplay, so they had someone else rewrite the story. And that's how it became. Because, it's different from book to on screen.
Yeah, because
Because not everything's in there, and they'll only take certain parts, and then the writer who...
A screenwriter has like a 120-page like quota, and they have to put everything they put in there has to fit the tone of the movie and the... goal of the movie. It's not like a book where you just have free reign.
Yeah.
Which is like, you can get ChatGPT to do that for you, but as a human, like, it's fucking impossible to cut all these pieces off your story. And
I mean,
screenwriting is hard. It's actually like blows my mind. People even do that.
No, yeah, man. And like for ChatGPT, the whole ChatGPT AI thing, like it's just desensitizes, my mouth's a little dry, but desensitizes like the feeling of the story, like
it sanitizes it for sure.
Basic,
like, it takes out the humanity of it in this weird way,
and and that's the thing nowadays. Like everything's recycled. They're always like just trying to remake new movies from the classic movies.
It makes you think, like, has AI been like generating things the last 10 years for Hollywood just to make? Because
maybe,
like, where
who
the fuck
knows?
are all these recycled ideas coming
like
from?
There's only like maybe a few movies in the last since like the 2010s that like I've really like remembered.
And what sucks too is a lot of like those bigger movies now that get the budget and the funding and the press are like established people from that era that are still making films. Like, there's only a couple new big directors that are kind of shaking things up a little bit. Mm-hmm. A lot of the attention goes towards like, oh, look, Oppenheimer, a brand new movie from this established director that we all love. It's hard to do an original script now because it was like that back in the 90s. That was already starting to change, where you have this era of like, oh, we're going to make movies just based on what's going to sell rather than what's like art films. There's a book I had, I think I might have gave it away. No, it's right there. Writing Screenplays That Sell. That's how I learned by Michael Hauge, Hauge. But that's like one of the first books I read when I started reading books. And that book was cool because it taught me what I just said to you a minute ago, that like writing a screenplay is so different than and you're not even, the other thing that blew my mind is like, you're not even writing the screenplay to sell. Like, it's not your passion project. It's not like I write this screenplay because I love this idea. Like, I want to make Shrek 5 so bad that I wrote this screenplay, and this is the best Shrek 5 you'll ever read, okay? Like, I'm not going to send that.
What's Shrek's adventure right now?
You want me to tell you?
Yeah, man.
So Shrek's been away for a minute. He's gone for a minute, but he's back now. We're going to have a lot of rap music inside of this.
Oh, my God.
Okay? It's going to be very hip-hop themed.
Yeah.
I can't tell you why. I just know it's gonna work with the kids. Okay.
The kids are gonna be like, my green swamp, my green swamp. I'm in my green swamp.
The TikTok people are gonna have a field day. Okay. I want to get Kendrick Lamar involved. And
Kendrick Lamar, yeah.
Yeah. Kendrick, please do Shrek 5. Okay.
Yes.
And so Shrek's gonna come out of the swamp. Him and Donkey are actually, they haven't been friends for the last couple years. They had a blowout fight.
Oh damn.
And like they're kind of separated, but Fiona has been like trying to cheer Shrek up, and you're like, damn, like we're really entering Shrek 5 like this. Like Shrek and Donkey are not chill with each other.
Damn.
It's kind of upsetting. So the movie is about Shrek and Donkey like reigniting their old friendship and coming together and becoming friends again and remembering all of those memories they had together, going through like callbacks to all the other Shrek films that we all know and love. And then at the very end, of course, like got to have some climatic moment where, so I'm trying to think of like the antagonist, and we're still trying to figure out the antagonist. I think we should bring Farquaad back. I think that's probably what we should do.
He's like, they just need to kick his ass one more time.
Yeah. Like Farquaad, within the hiatus, he took over a bigger castle. So in the first movie, he had this small castle. Now he's got a kingdom, this motherfucker. Like, remember the first movie when they enter and they're like, it's all the fun and all the gags?
Yeah.
We're going to do that times like 10. He's got a whole kingdom worth of this shit. It's going to be fucking awesome. The kids are going to love it, right? And so then they walk up. They meet Farquaad. Instead of him doing wrestling, this time it's UFC or boxing. We could do boxing. Do like a little Mike Tyson shout out. Right?
Shrek's like, donkey.
Shrek versus Mike Tyson. That would be the fucking. That'd be a great scene.
He'll be like, look, you green motherfucker. Like, I'm gonna fuck you up.
Donkey, check out my right hook.
Oh shit. I never cut the model.
Dude, this is gold right here. So my whole point being, if I write this script out, I send it to Paramount Pictures, whoever does the Shrek movies.
Yeah.
They're not gonna buy my script. They just are gonna read the scripts I write and then hire me for some other idea they come up with because they think I'd be the guy for that script.
Yeah.
That's how script writing works almost all the time. It's not people writing a script and making a movie. It's hiring a screenwriter who's capable of writing scripts to write your movie, which is a whole different fucking thing than I had ever even realized. And again, this is like the 90s. So now what's happening, and in that book, he was saying like this is becoming a thing where you have to kind of balance your creativity with your commercial value. Like what are you trying to show these people you can do? Like, can you write sci-fi movies? Can you write westerns? Can you write romantic movies? Now, with the way shit is, I don't even know, dude, because now it's also like you have AI, but it's also like you have Netflix and streaming, so it's not even really about movie script writing anymore. And then like people write scripts through Zoom shit now. Like you used to have writers' rooms, and now you have like Zoom meetings, and you have people who are hired for one episode of a show, but they don't actually work for a writer's room in that show, like how it used to be. They're just fucking picking random writers of other shows and just hiring them like, hey, write this episode of SVU, and then they just write the episode. Like, it's a whole different world than it was 30 years ago. So there's a million reasons why movies suck. Like, there's so many reasons. But it's so disappointing because movies used to be so good. Like, you don't even realize. You look at like 2008 and all the movies that came out in like July of 2008, and you're like, whoa, there was this one and this one and this one. Now it's like a good movie hits you sometimes. Every now and then we get a good one. There's a couple directors that I really do like Robert Eggers, if you're familiar with him. He's about to drop that Nosferatu movie.
I didn't know that.
Cool.
Yeah. I'm excited. I'm to see Nosferatu in what, 2025 or
yeah,
2024?
And he's the guy for it because the thing is like we've been saying like about recycling old ideas.
Yeah.
He's really good at that like generational piece, like classic horror feel movie. Like it doesn't feel like it's trying to emulate.
No, yeah.
He did a remake of something else, I thought.
I want to see like the classic Universal monster movies from like this, I think the 60s or 70s.
Bring
and
that
then,
shit back.
Yeah, and then Yeah, I mean, if you can bring that classic, because that's like creepy, you know. You watch it and then you're just like, oh man, the story's fucked up. Like Frankenstein, everybody just hated on him. Like he's like he's a bit of everybody, and it's like we don't like that you're different.
Yeah.
Because you're a piece of something. You have something else to you. You know?
I never saw Elephant Man with David Lynch.
Oh man, but that's based. Yeah, that's based on a true story.
And that's a real story.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, I think like even just the monster thing with movies. Like what happened to like just classic movie like human anthropomorphic monsters? Like now it's fucking like Stranger Things with a giant squid thing that's like taking over a universe. I only need like one. I need like Freddy Krueger. That's all I need. I just need like Jason to pop out. That's the shit we need. Like, we only need those. You need like more classic villains. You could do that too. Like where the fuck is this shit? Like it wouldn't be that hard to make movies good again. I really think this, but it's gonna go like the complete opposite way. Like who knows? Maybe there'll be some revival. I don't know. I'm not making movies, so you're making movies. I'm not making movies.
Yeah, I love making movies.
How? Tell me about the process of making a movie.
Oh, man, okay. Well, pre-production, you know, you have to get, you know, casting, seeing who you're going to hire or bring on to your project. You know, you talk with people, different actors. I know a lot of improvisers, a lot of good friends of mine. And, like, just being able to get together on a project, you know, me and Sean, who you've met previously.
The infamous Sean Shaw.
Infamous Sean Shaw. He was, me and him, like, we wrote our stoner comedy, which is called Coconut Cruise, back in 2020, like during the pandemic.
Jamaican Tom Cruise.
Jamaican Tom Cruise, yeah. Excuse me, a little congested. But
Coconut Cruise, that sounds fun.
Yeah, man,
that sounds like a fucking phone app that takes all your money.
Yeah, that's funny. No, that's a good one. Fucking. That's really good. But yeah, man, what's it called? Yeah, so Coconut Cruise, it's our stoner comedy. You know, it's a fun, like, cause when's the last time you've seen a stoner comedy come out? You know, in theaters, and like the biggest or the most recent one I would say is Cannabis Kid, which is more a biopic because it's based on a true story.
Yeah,
you know. But yeah, like that
How
was our
long ago was Cannabis Kid?
2016, I believe.
That's a while now. I remember that movie.
And that, yeah, it was on Netflix. It's probably still on that because it was under Netflix that it showed. So.
And before that, I remember like Mac and Devin Go to High School, and they try to do a Mac and Devin Go to High School too, but it's not the same thing.
No, yeah. So there's that. I think that one's in like 2014, maybe.
Yeah, but it's it's a genre that could use a whole ass revival.
Yeah. I feel like this movie would be the revival of it. And it's like, you know, we base it in Chicago because, like, we're, you know, it's just our story, you know. And it's funny because I'm a North Sider, he's a South Sider. So, like, we combined our fuck. Because there's that whole North Side, South Side thing. It's like, I don't care what side you're from. As long as you're cool, you got great energy, like, that's it. Like,
is there gonna be a turf war in this movie?
Nah, possibly. Yeah.
North side versus South side.
Nah, but overall, man, yeah, it's a fun comedy. Basically, it's about two friends who like sell weed for this guy to make their music. You know, a typical Chicago artist story. You know.
Dude, could I have a cameo in this?
Yeah.
So. What kind of, where does this story go? Like, do we have a whole arc for the story, or is this
man,
are we still on the cutting room floor?
No, you know, we finished the film, like we just premiered it last Friday.
Oh, fucking hell yeah.
Yeah, so but basically, you know, it's just about friendship. It's about, you know, just two friends trying to make things happen, you know, for themselves, like, because they're tired of, you know, being broke and dealing with bullshit all the time.
How long is the movie? Is it a short film?
It's a short film. I did all the editing and stuff, so like I know the exact time, which is 52 minutes and 9 seconds.
That's
of running
a decent
time.
length. That's not bad. I was
Yeah.
thinking like 20 minutes.
Oh yeah, it might be cut down a bit depending. I don't know, but like overall, like it's beautiful right now. Like I love it as it is.
And when you're shooting these, you're directing everything too. Like you do all that.
Yeah, on this one, me, and the infamous Sean Shaw, we co-directed this. Like we both acted in it, we both co-directed, and it was just a fun time on set, man. Like
How do you handle directing?
how do
What's
I?
your approach with that?
My approach with directing, I like to talk with the artist, see what their sense and feel is of their character, and like what they bring out. I like to let them play, improvise with it. You know, because for me, if you can put a little touch of yourself and a little seasoning of yourself into something, like it's gonna be beautiful.
Well, that's
Like,
usually what the best acting, I would say, has to be. Like it's authentic because it's a genuine reaction based on whatever needs to happen. Like you're imagining what you would do in that situation.
Yeah.
And you can empathize with the character, and in that's where the best acting must come out. It's like deeper people that just can fucking pull that shit out of them. Like I can understand that. I can understand like people who can cry because they have some really sad thing they can think about that makes them cry.
Yep.
That's usually, it's not like they're just crying based on what they think the character would cry about. They're pulling that experience out of them in such a way. Like acting's crazy.
Oh, yeah.
It really is an art form. When you look at like the amazing actors, like the actors who just like Marlon Brando. Why is Marlon Brando? Because he's so Marlon Brando.
I love Marlon Brando. I have you ever read his autobiography?
No.
Dude, that thing's like 600 pages, but if it's filled with so many stories that like just made me think like, wow, I can't believe like what the things this man's gone through, and the fact that he's always going to be an icon throughout the next century too, because I mean he's the Godfather, like that implemented his image in Hollywood and just in general. Like you think of a gangster, you think of Marlon Brando, like the Godfather, like. So
Yeah.
that's the beauty of it, you know. And then like with directing too, like I study like Scorsese, I studied Capricola,
Kubrick.
I like Kubrick too.
You mean
Coppola?
Coppola?
Coppola, Francis Coppola. Yeah, Capricola. What am I thinking? Deli meats right now? Because I'm talking about freaking Italian.
I study gabagool.
What's the gabagool? Oh my god. Some prosciutto, you know. You go for
You really
some,
do sound like film director.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
can
man.
fucking get away with that.
Yeah, but yeah, and then one of my favorites, Clint Eastwood. Clint Eastwood's a really great director.
It's crazy he's even still around making
Dude,
movies.
yeah, he just made a new movie called Juror 2. I haven't seen it yet, but like it must be really good.
He just wants to do that forever, yeah.
I used to work valet at Warner Brothers. Okay. And one day I got to see him on the lot, and he was having a conversation with someone, and I wanted to just go up to him and just say hi, you know. I just, but I never did.
When was this? Like
This was like back in 2018.
Damn.
Yeah, because he has his Malpaso, I think Studios. That's his company, or his film company. And what's the name? He has his office right there on the Warner Brothers lot.
nice.
Yeah, so he was just walking with somebody talking. That's why I didn't want to go up to either. I don't want to interrupt somebody's conversation. I'm polite and respectful like that, you know.
Well, yeah, but it's Clint Eastwood. Bro.
I know, right? Yeah, once in a lifetime opportunity.
Yeah.
Never taken, but who knows? I mean, he's getting up there, so will I ever meet him? Maybe, maybe not.
Maybe,
I don't know.
maybe
Give us a
that's like
chance.
that could be one of your fame goals. You know, meet Clint Eastwood. Because it's good to have like a couple things to check off a list.
Yeah,
that's
so,
a good one. Like for me, it's go on Hot Ones. For you, it could be meet Clint
Man,
Eastwood.
even Hot Ones, that'd be fun.
That shit would. I'd be like, I made it, mom.
Yeah, I made it.
Hot
I'm
ones
eating
and-
chicken wings on YouTube.
This is my career goal. Like this is once I've done this, it's all over. But that and was a Nardwuar. You know Nardwuar interview?
Oh, I love Narwhal. No, the crazy part is that he's been doing it since like the 80s, I think.
Yep. At
was
least the 90s, but maybe
or
the
early
80s.
90s or maybe late 80s, early
you're right.
90s. Yeah, man. But yeah, for the fact that he's been around the music scene for that long, and he's just everybody knows him.
Yeah.
But the thing is, they were like, he's a CIA agent because how does a man know everybody's fucking life facts? You know,
He must just be like really good at his reconnaissance, right? He's just calling around, like studying your life.
Be
Probably
like-
calls your mom. He probably literally
yeah,
calls
be
your
like,
mom.
hi, Mrs. You know, whoever it may be, and it's like, yeah,
I'm going to be interviewing your son in 1 week. Can you tell me his social security number?
oh, of course. Let me just go find it real quick.
Yeah. He's just got like, it's the gift of gab. That has to be what it is. He's so good at communicating with people. He just can convince your mother to tell you everything about when you were 4 and you like who your teacher was and how you used to wet the bed. And, and then he just whips that out on you on camera. It's like, how do you know I used to wet the bed, Hardwire? What the fuck, dude?
It's like,
He would get you with that.
yeah.
I'm trying to think, because like one funny thought exercise is that like if I were to get famous, what are the questions that Nardwuar would ask me that would make me go, what? Like he'd probably ask me about my friend in like 7th grade that I mentioned 3 times on this podcast throughout like 100 hours, like something crazy.
Yeah.
Find something deep. I don't know what it would be. That's probably even not deep enough for Nardwuar. He'd
Yeah, how
probably-
much research do you think he does? Or
That's
does he
what I'm
have
saying.
people do his research and then
think it's
come
him.
back with the information?
He's got fucking, it's like when you're in like a cult and you send out the babes to do all like the recruiting. It's like he's got 3 like young women that he just sends out to do all the studying for him. Just imagine Nardwuar with, you know, like a pimp with 3 hoes.
I mean, the hat too. That shit, like, he's definitely pimping. He's like, no,
Nardwuar's big pimp.
Yeah,
He's got
dude.
big pimping energy.
he's Canadian pimp energy.
Like Nardwuar is actually probably like more pimp than most pimps can even achieve.
Yeah.
It's actually kind of impressive because to drip like that, you got to have a certain type of swagger. That's all I can really say about that. You need to be a certain kind of person. Like you need to. There's something to be said about what the kids say. Like he's him. I think Nardwuar is him. I think he's really one of those hymns in the world. We only got so many hymns around. That's what I think.
Yeah.
I think the hymns are rare. I think controversially, but not really. I think Kanye is him. I think Kanye is definitely him. He's got him energy. You can't
yeah.
take that away from him. He's just
He
one
is
of those
just
people.
himself, yeah.
He's literally him, bro.
That's the thing, being yourself. Like, he may seem crazy to many, but he's just himself. And
Yes.
and I mean, some of the world accepts him, some of the world rejects him. And that's how life is, basically. You're going to fucking either be accepted or rejected. And you just got to take it as it is. Like, rejection sucks, but acceptance is cool, too.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, I think he highlights that thing in us that he's so himself and he's so genuinely himself. It's like I can't forget what song it was, but he says, "I'm on TV talking like it's just you and me." I think it's "Can't Tell Me Nothing," but that's exactly how he is. He's describing himself accurately. He's one of those people that talks just like he would talk in a conversation like this on a camera. I look at Kanye and I think, bro, if I got famous, that is exactly how they would do me, bro. Exactly down to a T. They would fucking make me look crazy because I do say dumb shit. Like, we all say dumb shit sometimes. We all, like, if I'm just talking off the cuff and I'm just having a good time, I might say something a little wild. But the thing about Kanye is there's usually, like, he's so good at, like, doing this, like, conversational, like, jujitsu where he says the thing that's just wrong enough. It's actually impressive. Like, he's managed to up the ante more and more. I'm waiting for the next big Kanye moment where he says the next thing. We can't predict it. It's just gonna happen and you'll be like, he said what?
Yeah.
Right now it's Jewish people. We just gotta wait and see. You don't know where he's gonna go.
Even
next.
Alex Jones was like, oh, fuck.
For real.
Yeah.
That's what's so funny. Even Alex Jones is like, well, wait a minute.
Hold on, man. Like, I didn't sign up for this.
Yeah, that is like a generational moment for me. Like when I saw, because I saw that live when Kanye West was on Alex Jones. For me, that was like the page was turning in reality, and we were heading into like a new world. I was so excited. It was like, wow, this is really the future. Like 10 years ago, when I was in high school, I never would have predicted that like this is where I was going to be 10 years later. We got Kanye West and Alex Jones ripping it up about the Holocaust.
That's
like,
wow.
This is the future, bro.
First it was George Bush doesn't like black people.
Yeah, that's where you start.
Yeah.
That's where you start. And that's actually so tame now.
Yeah.
Like you go back and watch that now, you're like, you know what? That was actually...
You know, that he was actually speaking truth around that time.
Yeah.
But now I don't know.
I think Kanye... Well, have you seen these things about Kanye and the nitrous? It's kind of sad. It's kind of sad.
Oh, supposedly, yeah, yeah.
You got Kanye on the nitrous, bro. And if that's real, that is how you would get away with like taking out Kanye. That's how you would do it. If you were some nefarious Hollywood weasel, that is how you'd take out a Kanye. You just drug him up and convince him it's a good idea.
God damn.
Yeah.
No, that's what normally fucks up people in general. Whether an artist or just a normal regular day person. Like
Yeah.
you
Yeah,
know.
and everybody has that. Especially someone like that, though. Like, I think creativity comes with a lot. Like, if you're extremely creative, someone like Kanye, like, that's the other side of Kanye. It's like, he's like that because he's so creative. He says all those things because his thinking is that abstract that he comes to such conclusions. You almost can't even be mad at it because you like his music anyway. Like, if you listen to Kanye's music and you're still like, damn, this is so good.
Honestly,
you have to take all of that as one big package because Kanye's a fucking... But that's the problem, is people like that fall into drugs and fall into all these things because of their abstract.
Do you believe in the whole, like, separating the art, like, the artist's art from, like, the artist, like... okay, yeah, their art is great, but them as a person is shitty. Like,
it's tough when you think about like, okay, so if you're just talking about valuing the art, like from an aesthetic perspective, I think always, like you should be able to value the art for what the art is on its face because that's what it is.
Yeah.
However, like the problem would be either one that like the context adds another layer to it that kind of ruins it. That could happen. But like the other thing is like, say you don't want to support it monetarily. Or was that the word? You don't want to monetize it. You don't want to give it money. I don't know how that difference works out.
Well,
like say that you don't like all these things Kanye says, but you still want to buy his record on vinyl. Like, how do you make that decision?
Well,
I don't know. Maybe that's a personal decision. That's
like
that's
even with like R. Kelly or like now P. Diddy and all that.
This is what
other
Socrates
stuff.
was talking about. He's saying you shouldn't buy P. Diddy's albums.
They have it comes with baby oil included.
You know what though? That P. Diddy's a good example because there's so many classic albums he was involved in.
I mean, from Biggie to like Mace,
Harvey Weinstein.
Yeah,
it's the same thing. You think about all those great movies that he made,
and now you look at it, Weinstein production, like
yeah,
but
it's like somebody's popped their dick out at you.
Yeah, it's like, hey, oh,
but I mean, like, that's what's so tough about it all. Is it makes me wonder, like I heard someone say this, and it's just they might be right, dude. Like, maybe you need those guys. Maybe you take out all the P. Diddy's, you take out all the Harvey Weinsteins, and you get like these shitty movies and this shitty music. Maybe you need like some fucking predator beast out there just fucking... Maybe there's something about that crazy personality that somehow curates great content. And about separating the art from the artist. Like, that's the problem. Is like, that type of character is what did that. So how do you reconcile all this? Like, you take out some of these people and you gotta be able to admit that Harvey Weinstein made great movies because he did. He picked the right people for movies. Even though he did all that shit, he still picked the right people. And so it's like so hard. Like, what do you do about that? What do you do? Because you obviously you can't have this happening. But like, how do you reconcile the fact that like, and that's why Hollywood's so weird now, because it seems like so much of Hollywood is that all this great shit we enjoyed in like the 2000s and the 90s. Oh, well, guess what? They were all raping each other. It's like, what? And so how do you separate the art from the artist? How do I watch iCarly and see her put her foot on the screen and not feel like I did when I was 8 again?
Oh, yeah. The whole Dan Schneider thing, man, that shit's nasty, man. But
And it's just crazy. So I don't know. In the end, it's like a dilemma in my mind because I do appreciate the art as it is. And I think people get caught up in like moralizing things and like, oh, I can't like this person and I can't like this. And generally, there's a human element to all of us. Like, all of us have something, some bit of truth in us. Anyone I disagree with, I can learn from. Even if I disagree with them on 90... I think I heard like a quote that was, the truth is I could be 99% right and you could be right on 1% of things, but it's that truth between us that really matters. And I think that's a great way to look at that. So like all of that, I look at art that way. Like no matter how this person is, what I think of this person, they still can make something that can move me in a certain way. There's nothing that we all have that human element. And a murderer could write an amazing book. And it's like, oh, well, that's a good book. I mean, you can't say it's a bad book.
No.
It's written really well.
He's
so.
like, this was my life. Here's my story. Look, learn from my side.
I'm talking about OJ's novel right now.
Oh, wow.
It moved me and brought me to tears.
Wow. It's a classic. Definitely a New York bestseller.
I got it on the back of my toilet for when I'm feeling lonely. You know, just whip that thing out. That'd be a great conversation starter, just to have OJ's book sitting around.
Dude, man.
You think OJ did it?
He had to, but he got away with it.
Yeah.
With his getaway speed.
Yeah.
His Bronco.
Yeah. That's wild.
I know.
That
right?
is. I'm so sad I didn't get to witness that live. Like I'm too young for that. I'm too young because that's like 5 years ahead of me. I think.
What year was that?
I don't 97.
Oh, I was
96. I don't even know.
I was like 5 or 4. So yeah, I probably don't remember that.
Hey man, you at least got to see the fallout. You're like, who's this OJ guy? I guess you know what? It would be better if you were in like your 20s at that time, because then you get to really see the shift. Like I never saw OJ as an athlete. I only saw him as a murderer, and that's kind of a bummer. It's kind of like how I only saw Caitlyn Jenner as a woman. You know? Wow. I didn't get the original concept. I never understood.
Bruce Jenner, yeah, but then you learn about it. Like, why?
Yeah, wait,
why'd you cut it? You were what? Olympic medalist.
You know what though? If you're getting outshined by all the Kardashians, you're on this show. You used to be an Olympic medalist. You're like, why the fuck am I not the main character here?
No, supposedly like this is like from a video I saw. It could be true, cannot. But like supposedly like the grandmother sold like her soul or something like to have everlasting beauty like all the women.
Okay.
But basically like the Kardashians, like every man they come across, they'll ruin their life in a sense.
Yo,
yeah, I mean, look at Kanye,
shit.
look at the
Pete Davidson.
Their Kardashian, the one Kardashian brother.
Yeah.
I forget his name.
Rob.
Rob, yeah, Kardashian. Like his life's kind of like, you know, it's crazy. So then Lamar Odom as well.
These bitches are witches, bro.
Yeah. Yeah,
literally
bro.
like from an old cryptic tale. These motherfuckers coming in.
Tales from the crypt.
If you remember that show, did you ever watch?
I
that
think
show?
that again, like you know what? Yeah, I have seen a couple episodes of that show, but only like reruns. I didn't get to see it when it was still coming out.
Nah, I remember when I was a kid and I saw that shit. Like, dude, you know, I got creeped out by it, but then I recently found out that the same animatronic skull that they used for Chucky in Child's Play, was the same animatronic skull they used for the Crypt. That's why I had like the blue eyes. If you ever watched it, yeah. But that shit freaked me out because I remember when I first. Have you ever watched Chucky growing up?
Yeah.
Did it scare you as a kid?
Chucky was a little scary. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. I remember when I first saw Child's Play 2 and that shit just freaked me the fuck out.
Yeah. Just the idea of like a little doll chasing you and trying to fucking kill you.
Yeah, dude. And then there's videos out there of fucking dolls just like fucking moving their heads and like being alive, like just like. Like,
To me, even the concept like a doll, like I leave a doll alone with my daughter, and it all says just fucking starts swearing and saying grotesque ass shit. It's like that's like horrible. That's basically like leaving your kid with YouTube now.
but live.
Yeah. Except the YouTube can move and it can grab a knife and chase you.
No, dude. And then there was this video I saw too, like where and I was trying to like research it, but I couldn't find anything. But supposedly, like these kids' songs, like some of these kids' videos, like they're putting out like bad messages
That's what I'm talking
for
about.
kids. Yeah, no,
That's real,
that shit's crazy to me, dude. Like
that's been going on for years now.
I just learned about it. And
So
it's
like
crazy.
what was weird is like there's different forms of this, and what's so weird about it is that you can't understand like what's the motive, like what are they trying to do? Because it'll be like Spider-Man and Elsa, and like Spider-Man and Elsa are just like doing like normal shit, but then all of a sudden Spider-Man starts like humping and Elsa starts like doing this like they like whatever.
That's
like it
crazy.
gets sexual out of nowhere, but that's only for like 10 seconds out of the video, and then everything's back to normal. Or it'll be like a video where it's got this crazy ass title, like it's kind of weird, like the way they title all of them. And then Elsa's pregnant, and Elsa has a Spider-Man baby with Spider-Man, and then like the baby grows
What the
up, and the
fuck?
baby gets depressed and does pills. Like it'll be crazy shit. And it's like, what are they making this for? Because obviously it's directed to kids. Like they're trying to get kids to click on it and watch it, but like, why? Like this is literally Satan shit. Like this is the devil.
That shit's fucking crazy.
Who
to
would
me,
do
dude.
that?
Yeah, there's some sick people out there, man. I mean, there's a lot of child predators. Like, I mean, even in Hollywood and all that shit, man. And that shit's insane. Like, and then I work with kids, man, and like just working with kids on a regular, like, it's like, you know, I'm like, why would people want to hurt these young children, like, for no reason, you know?
It really does make you wonder.
Yeah.
Who the fuck would do that? Because I don't. Like, it's kind of the most evil thing you could possibly want to do is to hurt kids.
Yeah,
it's probably
it's-
the worst thing.
like-
I think that's like that's why it's such a trigger in people's mind. You know, like because dude, it's the worst thing you could do. Like when Kendrick Lamar calls Drake a pedophile, that really fucks Drake up because that word carries a lot of weight. You know, but even just like fucking wanting to corrupt children, like not even just like physically do it, but like just corrupting their minds. Like I feel like that's such a crime against humanity. Like you could lift kids up and you could be nice to them and you could like give them a good example, but then people are just mean to kids, and people like, and this is like child workers a lot of the time. People
Yeah.
work with kids.
Yeah.
They don't see the value in the kids.
No,
And it's kind of crazy.
No, yeah, and I mean, it's like for me, like with my kids, like it's tough sometimes, but you know, like I'm the only male figure in the classroom, so like I got to be stern sometimes with them. But then, you know, I show them kindness, love, and all that stuff. And it's like that's one thing. Like I feel like kids nowadays don't have enough discipline, or like they're not like, you know, told what's right from wrong sometimes. You know, and it's okay to have open freedom, like to give your kid like that feeling of being a kid, but sometimes too you have to show them like, you know, how to be. I don't know. This is like, I guess how I'm not a parent, but
I look at it like there's an idealistic version of love that people have where it's like I could say that I love you no matter how you are, and I love you because of you're perfect and that. But like truly, I think to like love someone is a mix of that and also seeing a better version that they could be.
Oh yeah.
Like I love you as you are, but I see so much potential in you.
Yeah.
Because I see so much life in you. Like that's true love. It's not loving them because everybody can be better. So it's loving them as they are, but also seeing their infinite human potential. Like that's what love really is to me. And then how do you get them there? How can you be that person that like takes them and lifts them up and puts them in a better spot? Because that's your power as someone who loves someone, is you can do that.
Yep.
You could do that, or you could lock them in and let them just be perfect the way they are. But I don't think that's the same thing. I think that's you love this version of a person. Because like everybody, there is, I don't know, like if you had a kid, I think a kid's a great example. Because like with your kids, you kind of have to learn that. Like they're 10 years old and I love them, but they're not like the version of the kid I imagined having. Like no one is. No kid could possibly be that.
Well, yeah, because like that's one thing. People try to like, in a sense, replicate themselves through their child, you know,
Or other people.
Yeah, other
We do
people
this all the
too,
time.
you know, and it's just it's better to just let people be, and
that's when people shine,
yeah,
especially with kids. Like if you let
Yeah.
kids be themselves, they kind of internalize that, and they're
Yeah.
like, "Oh, this is what I can do. I can offer this."
Even people in relationships, man, like
Yeah.
you know, because like there's always, when you know you have a partner, there's always gonna be the thing of like, you know, that balance of like, you know, yeah, there's some things I like about you, but then these are things I don't like about you, and like, you know, we try to either help each other, you know, if you're helping each other out and helping each other grow, then that's a great like growth strategy. And then the same with kids, like, you know, if you're like, you know, talking with them, letting them know like, okay, you know, you're like this, you know, if you could work on this, and so, and if they can receive that message sometimes, you know, but then also just letting them be, and sometimes they just do it on their own, you know, without you having to tell them as well,
Yeah.
you know. And
Yeah. And they can recognize that like exchange where you are giving them like whatever you're giving them, they understand what you're giving them.
No,
Like,
yeah.
if you're giving them this much room, they get that. If you're not gonna let them do it, they get that.
Yeah,
It's
like,
kind of an unspoken thing that happens.
dude,
a kid
like
can get that.
I have this one kid in my class where he's like, lately he's more comprehending, like using yes and no.
Yeah.
But he does it in Spanish, so he's like, "Sí," and like, and I'm like, "You want," like, he loves music, he loves dance, it's crazy, and he's like, whenever I put on a song, if he likes it, he's like, "Sí," but then if he wants to change it, he's like, "No," he's like, "Not that song, man. I'm sorry, it's not gonna fly right now."
Kids are pretty honest.
Yeah, dude. It's so funny though. And then I'll put another song and they'll just be like, "Yeah, this is my jam right here." Like,
Yeah, he's feeling that. It's a vibe.
yeah.
How old is he?
Fucking dude, I work with toddlers, so this kid's like only 1 year old. They're already like, I'm just like, damn, like kids learn so quick, dude.
And they learn differently from each other too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like some kids are like dancing and picking music at one. Some kids can't even pick things up at one. Like they're still getting there. It's crazy.
Everybody's development's different. We're all different. So
We are all different. Like that's, you know, I just feel like it's such an interesting thing. Like when people can enjoy the presence of like a kid. I think that that's important. That's actually like a really important trait to have as a human, because kids are one of those things where like I love, don't get me wrong, like as an adult, I want to hang out with adults. But when I have a kid around, like I like being that person to like be nice to them and talk to them and like, "Oh, what do you like to do?" Like, "Oh, that's cool." Like, you know, "Oh, you like that shirt?" Like ask them questions, because kids like that. They like just when attention's called to them.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people just forget these basic things. They don't give attention to the kid or ask the kid about how they're doing. And it's like, I look at all of it like it's kind of like, that's why improv is a great thing to study and practice, because improv kind of teaches you the rules of everything else. Freestyle rap is kind of the same, where it's like when I'm freestyle rapping, I have to go with whatever I'm doing. I have to feel that moment out and just do that, because if I get caught up in all these other things, I won't properly execute. And then it also, like if I have someone with me, we're supporting each other, just like in improv. Say we're doing an improv scene. I'm acknowledging all your decisions, I'm supporting all your decisions, and I'm yes-anding all your decisions to try to elevate them to a better place. Just like with kids and just like with relationships, it teaches you that basic thing. Like, what is this rule here? Like, what are we trying to establish, and how can I use this framework to properly put this person in a better place, rather than try and tear each other down or find flaws in each other and all that. Like, wouldn't it be better to just find the good things in each other and then like pick that out? I think that we are a measure of our strengths and not our flaws. This is what I'm going to say in my presidential speech when I'm inaugurated.
Dude, I agree. And then like, man, I saw this one video the other day that really like touched me. It was like, you know, all the traumas that you've received from your parents, you've also received gifts.
Yeah,
Yeah.
wow. That's like a duality.
Yeah, then I was like, damn, that's deep. It was in Spanish, but yeah, and he's like, all the gifts that, the traits that you get from your dad and traits that you get from your mom, you get a piece of them. So you're not a representation, but a part of them. And then however you are as a person, you express yourself, but like part of their history or how they were when they were young is a part of you now.
Yeah, which is crazy. It's like the spirit of them is transferred through you. And like people have debates about nature versus nurture, but that shit'll be like you separate from your parent and you're born 300 miles away. You grow up and then you find out, you acted the same way your dad did when he was 10. You guys didn't even know each other, but you had the same temperament.
Yeah.
Like that type of shit is real. And so it makes you wonder, dude, like how does that work? I mean, I know that there's been science about like the transfer of memories through your children, but I don't know if there's any validity to that science. I've not done my research, but I know it's an area of research. Like they tried to look into it. Like, can my memories pass on through my children in some strange way?
Yeah.
Maybe they can. Maybe they can. Or maybe it's all just this strange thing with genetics that we don't fully understand.
I mean, yeah, because DNA is always changing too, man.
Yeah.
Like it's like a new spindle of like,
It's like
basically
snowflakes.
it's like a hybrid because you're mixing DNA in a sense, right? When you have a child, like.
Yep, and we're all not that. I think we're all 50-second cousins. Like if we all traced it back, we're at least 50-second cousins.
That would be crazy.
I think that's what it is. It might be a little bit farther back than that, but like it's not as far back as you'd imagine. You'd imagine we're like 300th cousins or 1,000th cousins, but 50 seconds that's only 52 generations.
That's crazy, dude.
But a second cousin, that's like, okay, that's a little bit far away because it's all about that giant web of genetics. Like it all starts with Adam and Eve or whatever, whoever the fuck, and then it just goes down from there,
And it just
couple monkeys
keeps
fucked one
spreading.
day.
It just keeps spreading and spreading and spreading out. So.
And that's what, so in that, it's crazy to think that like, to me, it's even weird when you look at someone's like son and then their dad. Like I just recently saw the first pictures of my biological grandpa and I'm looking at these pictures and I'm like, damn, dude, like, I guess that kind of looks like me. I guess so. But I'd never seen this guy before. And he's like, in the picture, he's like 34. I'm 26. So it's not that big of a difference. Or maybe he was like 40 in the picture. I can't remember. But still, it's biological grandpa. Like that, those genes made me. And so it's crazy to even think about that shit.
Right.
Like that's really what it boils down to. You're just a little like you're some genes that were thrown into a vat one day and incubated.
And then thrown chemical X and you're turned into the Powder Puffs.
Yo, can we please get Powder Puff Girls in real life by now? It's fucking the future, dude.
That'd be crazy.
How do we not have superheroes yet? That's what I'm saying.
I don't know. They're probably out there. I mean, like you were talking about Stranger Things earlier. That's actually based on like a government experiment.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it the one about astral projection? Or is it something else?
No, it's something else. It's like, but supposedly there were kids with supernatural powers. And I mean, have you ever seen Stan Lee's superhero like show? It was like, I think in the 2000s. It's really cool. Basically like superhuman people. Like there was this one guy, I forgot where he's from, but this man like is so like he can run like bearskin in the cold. He'll just run in shorts and boots. And like supposedly he even did the what's it called? What's the fucking mountain? Why am I blanking right now?
Mount Kilimanjaro.
I think so, yeah. Kilimanjaro.
Huh.
That's Mount Everest.
He did it in boots and shorts?
Supposedly, yeah.
A real person?
I mean
Or in the show?
No, he's real. He's real. Like he can withstand cold temperatures. I don't know if he did it without a jacket in Mount Everest, but supposedly, yeah, he did. He went up to the top.
Damn, son. That's wild. People die doing that with all the shit on. It makes you wonder like how much of it is literally just your mentality. Like it's literally just
it's
the frame
all
of
mental,
mind.
man. That's what I think. I think your body you can control as long as you can control your mind, because when you think you're tired, you will feel tired. When you think you're happy, you will be happy. If you just let sad and other things, get to you, then you're gonna feel like shit.
Yeah.
So it just all depends on where your head's at and where you want to go. Because people like just think that like, oh, that's it. Like, especially like if some people give up on their dreams, it's like in a Bronx Tale, they say, wasted talent is the worst thing in life, basically. Because it's like, you never know what it could have been, or.
Yeah. And I think that's a lot of people. It's a lot of people. Eventually, they just burn themselves out. Because I mean, it's disheartening to be the person who's like 35, who's been making art for 20 years, and it still has not made him more than $1,000 or whatever the fuck your story is.
Yeah.
It sucks to be that guy. But at the same time, every success story starts from somewhere where someone did have that belief in themselves, and they were 35 and they sold one painting, and all of a sudden now they're 37 and everybody knows who they are. It can happen anyway. Like comparison is the thief of joy. I love that quote. And to me, that's what that kind of, it's your story's your own story. Like, you don't need to compare your story to somebody else and then upset yourself about that.
Yeah.
Like, oh, well, I'm this age and I still haven't done this. Like, yeah, but that's the only time you're ever going to be this age and be at this point in your life. So just accept that and be okay with that. Because, and the other part of it is too, is like, you don't even really want that. And once you have it, you might not even want it. You'll be like, damn, dude, now everybody knows who I am and I can't go to Walmart anymore. Like, this shit actually kind of sucks in some ways. You'll think back to when it was 10 years ago and you thought you weren't happy and realize, oh, maybe I was happy. And so life fucks you up, you know? So, but it's the comparison. It's that comparison. You could either accept the way it is now, or you could idealize and think, oh, but it could be like this and I could have all this shit. It's kind of a depressing way to think. To me, that's kind of sad.
No, yeah, man. It's like just be happy with what you have now. Like, there's that saying that the present is now, like in Kung Fu Panda.
Kung Fu Panda. Today is a gift that is white is called the present.
Yeah. I love that quote, man. And like, that's the thing, like
Master Shifu.
Yeah, Master Shifu. You definitely. And like, that's the thing, people always want to like think ahead, or like, sometimes you get stuck in the past and like, you're like, fuck.
Yeah.
But if you never let go, or if you never move on, and you never live in the moment, like, then you're not going to have the experiences that you want or need in your life, Like, sometimes we can't be scared, like I told you, the Clint Eastwood thing. Yeah. I mean, I might have gotten in trouble, but at least I like got to meet an idol of mine, right?
Yeah.
And who knows, if I would have introduced myself, would I be here talking to you right now? Maybe, maybe not. Right?
It's because I mean, you could either do that and know that you did it, or forever live in that knowledge that I didn't go up and talk to Clint Eastwood.
Maybe I can even make a short about it. Like, what if I did meet Clint Eastwood? How would I talk to him? Or I could just ask him, how much, what's your rate? Reach out to his agent.
Yeah. Let's get him on the podcast.
Yeah,
Let's
right.
get Clint Eastwood in here.
That'd be fucking dope, man.
Yeah.
The man's like 90-something, still moving around, doing stuff.
That's crazy.
Like, so I want to be like that, but probably get to 100.
At 100, you might stop, you think?
At 100, I'll just be like, man, okay, I'm good. Like,
I think at 20 years, we'll still have Clint Eastwood making movies. I think at this rate...
Bro, that would be crazy. I think he'd be the oldest living American if he did.
Like, Clint Eastwood's like fucking... All the movies are like made and directed by AI, but you still got Clint Eastwood out there like making classic films.
Like, he remakes fucking The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly with himself.
He can't even move.
Yeah. Punk. No, my favorite is...
And the crowd goes wild.
Oh, man. No, that'd be hilarious.
I think Clint Eastwood, it's like, Quentin Tarantino says 10 movies. That's what he says. And now he's kind of fucked because now he's on that 10th movie. But he says he's done after that. A lot of directors do stop eventually. Like Spielberg, I'm surprised he's not done yet. I mean, I don't know how old Steven Spielberg is, but he's getting up there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, Kubrick, I wonder what he would have made if his life had continued. He probably would have made some fucking amazing
Nah,
movies.
but supposedly they killed him because of his last movie.
Eyes
with
Wide
Tom
Shut?
Cruise. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I still have to watch it, man. It looks creepy as fuck, but supposedly it's like about the secret Hollywood society.
Well, my understanding is that he wanted to do more with the movie and go even further. Like, the movie is about a secret society of people with money who are having a sexual party. And so he's at the party, and he's like, he just found his way into the party. Like, he's not supposed to be there, but he's there. And so I think it was originally supposed to involve children. Like, I think that's I don't know if that's a conspiracy.
No,
or
that
if
is
that's
like
what it
they
is.
sacrifice kids and they use their blood, or like they scare them.
Yeah.
And supposedly like the adrenaline, from the kid, and then they
Yeah,
cut them
what is it,
and take their
adrenochrome?
blood and
Yeah.
because supposedly the adrenaline or whatever that runs in their blood, and like it's fucking some dark ass shit, but basically that it keeps them youthful
Yeah.
when they drink it. Like, it's fucking crazy. And then and then they sacrifice the kids. Like, it's fucking insane, dude.
And 10 years ago, if you told me that, I'd be like, that's wild. But then, like, more and more things happen, and I'm like, you know what?
Well,
Maybe
that's
it's not that wild.
well, like Monsters Inc. There was a video that compared it to Monsters Inc. because how would they keep the Monsterland running through kids' screams? Like,
Yeah.
that was their source of energy.
Yeah.
So think about it, like, the whole scaring a kid and then fucking drawing blood and fucking drinking.
Yeah.
It's just it's creepy, man. It's crazy though, like that. There's actually people out there, cults, whatever, may be that do that type of shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, yeah, man, it's just insane, dude.
There's crazy
Like,
people. There's crazy people for sure. I would wonder, like, I was talking to my mom, and she said that she doesn't like that there's even like gory horror movies because she knows that there's some crazy motherfucker out there who would watch that movie and get ideas. Like, even though that movie's entertainment to most people, there's still that crazy motherfucker who watches that movie and goes,
Like,
I do want to chop a girl up. That actually
yeah.
looks great.
that's
Crazy
true.
people.
They're like, that's cool. That's how they did that. Like Terrifier. Have you seen Terrifier?
No, but that's the exact kind of movie that would.
Yeah, no, supposedly, yeah, like the third one right now, supposedly it's like the goriest of out of all of them.
Yeah. How do you feel about those movies? You like them?
Gore movies, they're cool, but as I've grown older, yeah, they kind of like tweak me out a bit because I'm like, yeah, same thing. Maybe there is a crazy ass motherfucker that's doing that shit.
Yeah, like Saw.
Like, yeah,
Like, what if
yeah.
Jigsaw got the wrong guy?
Wanna play a game? What if Jigsaw got himself? Yeah. But he did because he got cancer.
Yeah. Dude, like, they killed him and then they brought him back and then they kill him and they bring him.
Yeah, it's like, what the fuck? Is he an alien experiment or something? Like,
Those movies got really convoluted.
they diluted it one by one. After the third one, like, I don't know.
It's kind of crazy they even tried to have a cohesive storyline. Like, they could have just kept it like a basic thing, but instead they wanted
It would have
to,
been a good classic, but now it's just overdone. Like Final Destination, they had 3, I think, and then they finished. Maybe.
That's a good question. I think they tried to revive it in the last 10 years or so. I think they tried. That's one thing you could do. If you did it right, you could bring that back and it could still be good because that's just such a solid
Yeah.
concept.
And then, like, do you remember that show, 1,000 Ways to Die?
Yeah. Yes. 1,000 Ways to Die, which that one's sad because it's true. All of those are real. It's like, yep, he opened up the Coke and Mentos and it flew into his brain. And it's like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, one dude put a thermometer up his ass.
Yeah.
Another dude was a peeper, snapped his neck because the chick saw him, got scared, and then he knocked the block out from under the window, and it was one of those windows that didn't have like the side locks or anything, so
It decapitated him?
didn't decapitate him, but landed right on his neck and broke his neck, and he died instantly.
God damn. Who sells these stories? Like, is it like the
I
mother
don't-
who's like, yeah. that money-
No, probably the friends, whoever, somebody who wants to make money off of it because it's crazy. Like one dude pissed on an electric fence, and because like of the stream,
Yeah.
it shocked him back.
That
And-
one actually scares me because that could happen to a lot of us. out
Yeah.
here. We got to be careful with those electric fences. That's real shit right there. It's
Yeah,
like if you pissed in the toaster.
it looked like a barbed wire fence, but it was a electric barbed wire fence and stuff. And then there was this other one where this dude, like, he was a big guy, but he had just eaten a lot of food, and he told this chick, "Oh, you can punch me in the gut," you know, and she punched him like dead center, and because he was so full, that force that she came in, she punched him hard, popped his stomach. Yeah.
Oh my god! And he died.
Yeah, and he died from like basically all his insides fucking spewing out.
Like Oogie Boogie from fucking Nightmare. I was gonna say Nightmare on Elm Street. I'm still thinking Freddy Krueger.
Oh yeah, when he comes out of him like, and like, yeah, man, that's classic right there.
I think
No.
I think Oogie Boogie. Yeah, I think they cut him open. All the candy falls out. I think that's what it is.
Now my favorite was in Nightmare on Elm Street 3, the Dream Warriors one, where he comes out of the TV
Yeah.
and he picks up the girl and he's like, "Welcome to prime time, bitch," and then fucking smashes her into the TV. That's a classic line, and that's the one thing I like about those horrors. Like they had a lot of like, even though they're fucking, these monsters are killing people, like they're making jokes left and right. Like Friday the 13th even had some funny stuff, like the one where Jason Takes Manhattan, where he fights the one guy, and then after he's like punching him and stuff, he's like, "What do you got?" And he just punches him and knocks his head off.
Freddy versus Krueger was my first one that I really saw.
Oh
And
wow,
that one's like late in the game too.
oh that one's actually really good. It's
It is a good one.
It's like a classic 2000s film. I think it came around the same time Bride of Chucky came out.
Yeah, that's another great one too. Bride of Chucky.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now they have that Chucky TV show.
They just canceled it.
Yeah, I don't know how I felt about it.
I mean, it was interesting, an interesting concept. I mean, they did, put what's it called, like LGBTQ characters and all that stuff in there. You know, a mix, kind of for modern day
Yeah.
watcher or like kids basically. And yeah, because it was about teenagers like in this era now,
Yeah.
So it's crazy. And then Chucky, being old school Chucky, he's like, "Oh, what's all this?" He's like, "What's all this gay shit?" Basically.
I actually didn't watch it. That sounds like a great way to approach
No,
that,
yeah,
honestly.
yeah, no, man, because it just goes like, like these kids become a couple, and then like, yeah, it's just, and Chucky's like, oh, like trying to kill them.
Chucky versus woke culture. With
Yeah,
the fucking
basically,
knife.
that's what it is, man. It basically is Chucky against woke culture. He's like, what is this bullshit? What did I come back to? And that's the thing I love about horror. Sometimes it's so fucking comedic, man. It like they just do the most outlandish shit sometimes.
And you
It's,
can get away with it.
yeah, it's funny as fuck, dude.
Yeah. And Tim Perez he's been posting about this horror movie that he's involved in. Did you do any horror movie stuff?
I actually my first short film I filmed in Los Angeles when I moved out there. And it's on YouTube. It's called Puppeteer.
Okay.
Basically, like where I was going with that script, like it's like about this guy who, he gets in a relationship with this girl, but then she tries to control him literally, and he tries to. It's like a toxic relationship in a sense, and he tries to break away, but she's like, "No, I'm in control now," and kind of chains him up.
Oh shit.
Yeah,
Oh shit.
kind of like in a Hellraiser. Could have gone, yeah. It's nice though. Yeah, it was like a really fun experience. We filmed it in like 3 days. I had a lot of people help out. Like nobody got paid, but I made sure everybody was fed. So
And so, how long was that movie?
that movie, actually, no, we shot in 2 days. How long is that? About 10 minutes, 12 minutes.
Okay.
Now that's a short.
Okay.
But it was cool, man, because I put it in some contests in like Italy and other different like short film contests, and it actually won some awards. Surprisingly, like I wasn't expecting anything out of it, but it, like some people nominated it, and some people like it got like a silver medal, or like it got awarded like like, it was just nice,
Yeah.
putting it in festivals, having others see it across the world, especially like that really like surprises me. So
And you didn't put that much money into it? You didn't spend a whole
that
lot?
that one I spent about $2,000.
Okay. So that's a
'Cause,
low
yeah,
budget, I imagine.
low budget, yeah, but yeah.
But it's
'Cause,
still a lot.
Yeah, because like the horror stuff is what's the most expensive stuff, like the special effects stuff. Like I used actual special effects, not like any like digital special effects. So we had like
What's the word for the practical effects?
yeah,
Yeah.
like we had like these hooks, these garden hooks that my friend Camille, who's a makeup artist, she had her friends at Nocturnal Designs create these garden hooks that you use for just the grass to put it in and hook other things to like look like these sharp hooks that like can dig into like a fish or like a butcher's shop kind of ordeal.
And what'd you use those for?
For our final scene in the film, it's pretty cool. Just the way, yeah.
And I forget I think that is Spielberg. Who directed Inception? Was that? No, Christopher Nolan.
Christopher
I know
Nolan.
Christopher Nolan has
Yeah.
always said like practical effects all the way. Like you don't do digital effects. You always do practical
Yeah,
effects.
the more real it looks, the more like you empathize with the person.
Yeah, yeah. And that it's not. There's the over reliance on digital effects is just fucking. It's crazy. I mean, were the dinosaurs in Jurassic Park? Was that digital? Was that all digital?
In the original, they were actually like animatronic.
That's crazy. 'cause it
Where
looks
now,
so good.
it's all digital. It's all CGI. But back in the day, yeah, like the T-Rex, that was. I mean, they still have it at Universal Studios when you do like the tour. It's crazy, man. And then
And there's value to those things too.
oh yeah,
Yeah, the practical effects. Yeah. Wow. You didn't even think about that. Like the shit they designed. Was there something else you were gonna mention? Another one of those?
no, man. I mean, E.T. as well.
Yeah. E.T. and then just all those horror movies we were talking about. Like
Yeah,
Nightmare on Elm Street.
Well,
like
Nightmare on
practical
Elm.
effects.
Yeah, imagine how much money and time took to use so many prosthetics and like.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Like even recently, like for Colin Farrell in the new show The Penguin, I haven't seen it, but like they take hours for him to go in prosthetics, and even with like Jim Carrey when he did The Grinch.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so
But it's so much more effective like that. It really is. Because you're seeing like a person become the character in such a way. The Grinch is a great example, actually. The Grinch is that's a wild transformation.
no, like even Mike Myers in Hat in the Cat or Cat in the Hat.
Cat in the Hat.
I'm saying everything backwards today.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. So it's just, yeah, even that stuff, like that takes time, dude. And like even doing the prosthetics for like the hook scene and all this stuff. Cause in my movie, at least we shot in three different locations in 3 days.
Okay.
Yeah, on a Friday, we were in Griffith Park in Los Angeles. We shot like a funeral scene.
Yeah.
And then on Saturdays when we filmed like the big scenes, like the final scene and the scene where basically it's like it's supposed to be like a show, underground show or something like that, like a exotic art show.
All right. We've all been to one or two.
Yeah.
We know about those. How do you schedule the shoots and all that? Do you kind of like, so, because I imagine there's a lot that goes into those things.
Well,
First, you got to
yeah.
scout a location, and then you got to make sure everybody's free and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, check people's schedules. Make, kind of make sure, kind of make an Excel sheet, I guess, about it. I didn't make an Excel, or I tried to make an Excel. Wasn't as successful, but, I attempted it.
You didn't excel at Excel.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, it's a lot.
But,
It's probably a lot. 'Cause,
yeah.
again, like you're taking on so many roles when
No,
you're
yeah.
being the guy who's doing all that.
Oh, yeah, no.
There's a reason
just-
directors hire 10 people just to schedule.
I mean,
shit.
yeah, I could have hired people. I just decided to do it on my own, and like that,
That's
is
what you
tough.
have to do at a
Yeah.
certain point.
And it's tough, but like I learned that was like my first short film ever, and I learned from that experience because there was one hiccup I had, like where I had one friend come in too early for her scene, and she could have done other things about her day, which I understood, and I felt bad at that moment. And I learned from that mistake. I also like learned like, okay, not to take over time of people's, like I want to like be on point with schedule, like, okay, from this hour to this hour we're going to shoot these scenes, and just try to stay on point, like do a couple takes, here and there, depending on the type of scene. If it's a long scene, maybe 2 or 3. You could play a lot with 2 to 3 takes. Like it's just reviewing, going over, and figuring it out. Like for me, yeah, it's just sometimes there is times where you should take more takes, just in case, like maybe you want to see something different, or maybe the actor is like, oh, okay, maybe I'll bring it this way instead, or this, just playing around with it. Whereas at the same time, it could be frustrating after a while because you want to move on to the next thing.
So, like, figuring out how to use that time wisely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because everybody, like, yeah, we're all having fun doing it, but at the same time, everybody wants to go home too.
Yeah.
Everybody has their life outside, but that's the thing. Like,
There's different directorial styles, too, though.
Yeah.
Like, some people would want 300 takes, and some people
Oh yeah,
only
Stanley
want one.
Kubrick was like that. So is David Fincher, which, I mean, he made Fight Club. He made, he actually did the Facebook movie. I forgot.
Social Network.
The Social Network.
And then,
Seven.
Seven, that's what I'm
Seven.
thinking
Yeah, what's in the box?
of. He just did some movie with that sniper movie with the British actor, the guy who played James Bond, Daniel Craig. I think
Oh,
he
wow.
did. Maybe I'm getting the name wrong though. I think it might be a different actor. But he did another movie on Netflix. He also did Gone Girl. That was David Fincher.
Gone Girl. That's a good movie, and that's like I'm not gonna lie, that's like a man's nightmare right there.
Yeah.
Getting framed for like the fact your wife's missing, but your wife's framing you. And she's just trying to fuck up your life, and that's crazy.
Relatable.
Man. Yeah, really? He said relatable. No, yeah, man. Like it's just some scary ass shit. Like you think the person, right? And then all of a sudden you're just like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Zodiac. That was also him, I think.
Oh yeah, that's a good movie too. I mean, shoot. The fact that like the Zodiac killer is still out there, like they never solved it.
They never solved that. That's crazy to think about. Some people think it was Ted Cruz. That's what some people are saying.
That's what they're saying. They keep saying that. Maybe he is. That's maybe why he went to Texas. You
Can
know?
you imagine, bro? Literally, it's Ted Cruz. Like he got more famous just thinking, you know what? If I get famous as this, they'll never ever be able to guess that.
Yeah, no, and that's the one thing too. Like they've said about some serial killers, like they want to get caught, and they'll go to the highest point to like be like, hey, I'm right here, and then like if nobody like catches them, then they feel like they're unstoppable, like they can do whatever the fuck they want.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
You're never really a serial killer until you get caught. They
That
probably
is true, right?
Yeah.
That'd be crazy.
Like, there's some serial killers out there right now in this city that are like, damn, bro, one day my time's gonna come, and they're all gonna know.
Yeah,
it was
no,
me.
and there's some people. No, like even the one where
The smiley face thing is what I'm thinking of.
No,
swear.
man.
That's what I thought I saw.
Oh yeah,
Killing a bunch of
the
dudes.
bunch of dudes that like, and they found them in the river.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
Chicago River
It
is
happens
just
too many
crazy.
times to where it seems like, okay, it's always the same type of guy, and it's always in the river. Like, that's what
It's
makes
always
it
near the
seem-
lake.
Yeah, because if it was like different kinds of people, like that's how you figure out who a serial killer is. You got to figure out their MO and what. Who
Well,
they're trying to
yeah,
kill.
because they have their own little way of. Well, yeah, like the smiley face, because they always sprayed a smiley face after every
Yeah.
murder, and that's the crazy part, you know.
There was we were talking about The Wire earlier. There was like I think it was a plot line later on in the show where like they had the main character start framing murders inside of these buildings so that way the cops would pay attention to the buildings. But it was like that was what he did. He there was a body. He would find a body there, and then he would make it look like somebody killed somebody, and so that way they would think there's a serial killer, and they'd pay attention to all these bodies they're finding. And I think they were just actually ODing. This was like when the main character had a drinking problem, and I'm forgetting the main character's name on The Wire now. Mick something.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, that was. It's just, I'm sure all cops know this. Like, if you're looking for a killer, you got to figure out what their type is.
Well, yeah. Then they had there was that whole TV series where they had the FBI had that program where they would interview different serial killers and to see their mental state and like, you know, why they did what they did and like get
Mindhunter was the Netflix thing about.
Yeah, that was. I don't know why they canceled it. They should have kept that going. It was a great show.
And it's like that's the thing. I don't know. It's a tough like moral conundrum because when you think about it, like you're giving the serial killer the exact attention they want. Like when you watch this stuff, but also like they're on YouTube. You can find Ted Bundy's last interview. You can find a bunch of crazy fucking Ted Bundy.
That shit's
interviews.
crazy. There's a lot of crazy stuff out there on the internet, man. And like the stuff that. Yeah, even the whole serial killer stuff. Like, I remember I would stumble upon it randomly sometimes, and even like some like mafia stuff too. Like some of these mafiosos and stuff. Like they would get away with the most heinous crimes, like murders that
Yeah.
you know before they got caught. But still, it's just insane to me. Like the amount of you know things that they do and like John Gotti, you know, he killed his former like mob boss like in front of a steakhouse in front of like I don't know if it was exactly him that shot him, but he got him shot to where he was killed in front of people. Like it was like that brutal.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, dude. Like
Jesus Christ.
yeah, so like
It's a
you know
dog eat dog world out there.
basically.
Yeah. John Gotti, I don't even know the full story with John Gotti. Is it?
They call him the Teflon Don because like every like thing that they try to pin on him just slipped off
and it
basically.
ended
like
up being the IRS shit, right? It was the tax shit that
yeah,
got him.
I think so. Maybe
Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm mixing him up with.
I don't know. The
Capone. I
tax.
think I'm
Yeah,
mixing him up with
Capone got taxed. I think with him it was just he finally got a RICO charge. It was racketeering and all that stuff. So
because eventually they find you.
yeah,
Eventually.
So
Yeah.
yeah, and then he ended up. I think he died in prison, unfortunately.
That's gay. That's so gay. That's such a gay way to die, bro.
Yeah,
In
it's being
prison.
trapped. Yeah,
When I say gay, I mean because you get raped in the butt in prison, guys. That's what I'm talking about. Okay. I was taught when I was young, you don't want to go to prison because you will drop the soap in the shower. That's what they told me when I was 10 years old, and I never forgot. Okay. Literally, when I think of prison, that's like one of the first things I think about. Is like, dude, I do not have the physique to be in prison. They will fucking get me, dude. They will get me. And I am like the whitest motherfucker. I won't join a gang. Like prison life is not for me. If I went to prison, I'd come out and I would literally be a serial killer. That's how it would go. It would change me. You think you'd do well in prison? I think I'd be an absolute failure.
I think I would be in the best shape of my life if I was. In
I like
prison.
that. You got a little confidence walking in.
Yeah, I just gotta go in there. You gotta be okay.
I don't know, man. I think I would be like prime for the taking. They'd look at me like, yo, he's mine. They'd be calling dibs on me.
Remember, you gotta find the biggest motherfucker and beat the shit out of him. Like, have you ever seen? Oh my God, there's this crazy funny movie that made me think of with Rob Schneider.
Yeah.
I forgot what his character's name
Deuce
was.
Bigelow?
No, not Deuce Bigelow. It was like more recent.
It was his other big movie though. I know what you're talking about. There's
Yeah,
a prison
where
one.
he like knows kung fu and stuff. Bob Sapp's in it, like, you know, but basically like I think he was rich and then he had to go to prison, and he had a coach train him how to fight and prepare himself for prison. Then when he went there, like he was just like a kung fu master, and so he was like, let me find the biggest guy, and then he fucks him up, and then he was like, and everybody was cool with him. It's crazy.
That's what you got to do, kids. That's that sounds like Will Ferrell and
Nah, it wasn't that. I know which one you're
Get
talking
Hard
about
is
with
what I'm
Kevin
thinking of.
Hart.
Yeah.
Yeah, Get Hard. No, it wasn't nothing like that. It was different.
that was
It was similar, but it was different.
well. This was the original one too, because no one had really done a prison training movie before that.
No, I forgot the name of it. But basically, it's a funny movie.
I know exactly the movie you're talking about because I had this conversation with somebody. Like Rob Schneider doesn't have too many big movies that he did. It was just Deuce Bigelow in this one. Those are
Deuce
like the
Bigelow,
two.
that, yeah, he had what's it called? The Animal, I think it was the one where he
that
was
sounds
like
familiar.
he went from a guy to a girl, or it was a girl that went to a guy.
I do remember that movie. Yeah. Oh, yo.
And then Benchwarmers, I think he was part of the Benchwarmers.
Okay. But yeah. But he didn't like end up having the breakout Adam Sandler thing that
Oh
people
no,
were
of
kind
course.
of
But
thinking he might.
the crazy thing is they're all part of the same friend group. They're all friends, so they're all making money together. You know, and even in Grown Ups, like I think he was in Grown Ups as well.
I think Adam Sandler is a great example of that. That you can just kind of carve your own way and just do whatever you want. And it's also like you could even draw a connection to the Kanye thing where people talk shit about Kanye, but all he does is just act like himself. Same thing with Adam Sandler. Like all he does is just be this cool dude, and like people fucking hate on that. Like really, Adam Sandler is a pretty admirable guy. Like when it comes down to like you watch his 2000s, like early 2000s comedies, they all have like great morals. It's always like some type of family value or some type of like sweet sentiment. It's never some bullshit. Like it's always a great, oh, I can see what they were trying to do with this movie. Like, this is a sweet movie. Always. And it's like, you know, a lot of comedic actors don't. And also, he was writing scripts back in the 90s, and he was writing those movies. He wrote Billy Madison. And I think he did. I think he wrote Billy Madison, and I think he wrote, what is it? Happy Gilmore. Pretty sure he wrote Happy Gilmore. But that's just so cool. It's cool that that's what those movies were. You can tell that it's just his version of comedy.
Yeah.
I don't even think... I've never really seen him do stand-up. I've seen like clips of his songs, but I feel like it's just one of those things. He's just so...
Well, yeah, he actually was here too a couple of years ago, I believe. And he plays his guitar, but
Yep.
he also does his stand-up a bit. He does a mix of stuff, like, you know, so I think that's really cool. I mean, and one of my biggest like comedy like favorite actors like is Chris Farley.
Yeah.
You know, and I just think, like, when I think Adam Sandler, I think about the Lunch Lady song, or the one where he's like the neighborhood kid, and he's just trying to find a home, and he's like please let me stay in home. And then they zoom out and Chris Farley's there, and he's like, just let the boys stay. Let them stay at home. What is wrong with you people? Like, have a good heart for the kid. Like it's so ridiculous, but it's funny as fuck, man.
Yeah. That era of SNL really was nice.
No, I love that shit, man.
I think that was probably one of the best last like solid eras of SNL.
No, yeah, within the early 2000s, like when Will Ferrell and then like Tina Fey and Jimmy Fallon and stuff, they were good too. But yeah, once it got to the 2010s, it just I feel, and right now supposedly it's up it's back to whatever. But honestly, when I watch some of the stuff, I'm like, I still don't find some of this funny. Like,
It's a shame that they fumbled Shane Gillis because he would have been a great pick.
Oh yeah, he's hilarious, and his own sketch show is like hilarious. I mean, he's just doing what he does, you know. And but the thing is, they have their own agenda. Like, you know, they bring politics into their comedy, you know, with satire. And I mean, sure, politics and stuff is important to know because, you know, you got to know what's going on with the world and the country. But at the same time, you're taking away from comedy. Like, yeah, you can make fun of the things that are currently going on, or you could just make fun of things in general and just have fun with it. Make it goofy. Make it like something that resonates with you in a sense, you know? And I mean, those artists are putting stuff that resonates with them, I believe. But at the same time, like, they're working like dogs in a sense, you know? They're trying to get these scripts done, you know, within a certain time in the week, during the week.
Yeah.
Because by the time they reach Saturday, which is showtime, you know, they have to have a certain number of scripts, and then there's certain things where, like, okay, what are we gonna put in? What are we gonna cut? You know, imagine how many fucking ideas you have to fucking brew before like one of your ideas is picked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be a crazy ass writing room.
No,
for
yeah,
SNL.
but yeah, in general, man. And
But but the urge to be current would be very strong.
I mean that is what it is, you know, the urge to be current. But at the same time, like, sometimes when you mass produce and stuff, like, it just kind of washes away from the original comedy, you know.
And it's easy to get caught in like a bubble. Like, oh, we're doing this.
Yeah,
thing.
I mean, but that's been their thing. I mean, they've been around for over 40 years
Yeah.
or so.
But
yeah.
it's good. It's a good observation that they're
Or 50 years
like,
now.
I think even like political comedy, good political comedy is when it walks the line where like everyone can just acknowledge the truth in what you said. But it's like if your intent is to send a political message rather than to point out the humor,
Yeah.
that's where it gets lost in the sauce. Because
Yeah.
now it's like, whoa, I feel like I'm watching a political advertisement rather
Yeah.
than a comedy show.
And that's the thing too. And I feel like with the whole Shane Gillis thing, I think because he was, you know, they're mostly Democrat there, you
Yeah.
know? So, and he's a Republican.
And the way it went down was he was already like signed on for the show. Everyone's like, oh shit, okay, Shane Gillis is going to be on SNL. Like, it got announced. And then that's when his tweets or his content gets scrubbed and people find something. It's not before he's on SNL. It's once he had that opportunity, some fucking journalist somewhere decided, oh, I'm going to write a hit piece on this guy. And that's what ruins it. What's really a shame is they didn't have to react the way they did. They could have just been like, you know, oh, well, I guess he said something crazy, but he's a comedian.
They should have rolled with the punches,
Yeah.
honestly. Like, that's the thing. And there's whole cancel culture and all this stuff. Like, people just get afraid of doing stuff or being themselves sometimes because they're afraid of what others think. That's one thing, is like, you let what others think, you let them control you, basically. And then once you're controlled, like, you're not yourself anymore. You
and you
know?
don't realize that when you gave that first inch, like, you're allowing the space to give so much more. Like, you silence yourself a little bit because you don't want people to like see you a certain way, but that becomes doing that all the time. Like, you do it, you just should practice not doing it ever. You should just always be yourself. But instead, like, you'll make exceptions and you'll be like, oh, well, I don't want to tell this person I feel like this. And you cancel yourself. Like, people cancel themselves before they even possibly get canceled by culture, you know? That's what's so upsetting about the whole thing to me is like, you see so many people just kind of like fuck themselves up over dumb shit because they think other people are going to feel some type of way. Like, they programs you into thinking like if you just tell yourself that shit's all not real, like, cancel culture's all not real, it's all this false. Like, if social media didn't exist, so cancel culture wouldn't exist. We wouldn't have this social value of like, you can't say this or else fucking fuck you forever. It just wouldn't exist. But now that that's a thing, people can you develop this frame of mind around that. You're like, oh well. And it sucks so much too because it gets even worse. Like, then you have YouTube who comes in and says, hey, you can't make videos about X, Y, and Z for whatever reason they say that
man.
for. And then now social media becomes this thing where, oh, I would love to make a video talking about this, but I don't know if I could say this, this, or this. And people start silencing themselves in that way. I just think freedom of expression is the highest value you could possibly have. Like,
Yeah.
Don't you want that? Don't you want people to just say what they think rather than not say what they think and repress
Yeah,
that?
and I mean, sometimes it's gonna piss you off or make you feel a certain way, but you gotta understand yourself and like work on your emotions and control yourself and be able to understand their point of view. Now, I get it if somebody's just like erratic or just being like loud and just to be obnoxious or just to be like I'm right here basically, and like yeah, I get that. That's irritating. That's bothersome and all that stuff. So
But you roll with that punch. You're like, okay,
Yeah.
well, I guess that's where I'm at right now, but I'm not always going to be right here right now. Like, I'll just give this person whatever I can give them, and then we'll be out of this. And
yeah,
you just, like, you know, it's again, it's like that improv thing. It's like, okay, well, I don't want, like, you could be saying the dumbest shit in the world, but I could still support you and get you somewhere rather than just fucking think, oh, this idiot. Like,
Yeah.
people just make these conclusions that I don't think are necessary. And it's just so fucking, it drives me nuts because when I'm around people, it's always a good time. That's all you got to do. You just got to allow yourself to be open to that. But instead, people close themselves off because they think that's what they're supposed to do. It's a sad world. I think it starts with the kids. Going back to the kid
yeah,
thing.
it just
like-
starts with the kid, man. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, because honestly, child development is very, it's very tough, man. Like, and
And that's where all that behavior usually starts.
Yeah, and honestly, man, I never like, you know, I always like, you know, supported teachers and stuff. But now that I am a teacher, like, even though I'm working with young children, like, it is still tough, you know.
You see it firsthand.
Yeah, you know, trying to help the kids, and then also speaking with the parents. You know, some parents are involved, others aren't. You know, but that's just how it is sometimes. That's just how things can be. But it's just trying to figure out what's best for the child and being able to give them the best childhood they can have, but also help them develop the best way they can and how they want to be, you know. Let them express themselves, let them be themselves, you know. Sometimes, yeah, we can be strict or we have to set discipline standards, but at the same time, you know, letting the child be, they feel it out, you know. Like how we now as adults, we're still doing stuff for ourselves, feeling things out, you know, whether it's paying bills or like just keeping yourself organized, all different types of things, you know. It's just working on growing and continuing to be the best version of yourself, and like working with the kids. Like sometimes I feel like either parents or as just teachers as well, like sometimes you get lost into like, you know, oh, like you want them to be a certain way, as you were saying earlier, you know, but at the end of the day, we just have to let them be who they are, and it's beautiful to see, like right now working with these 1 to 2 year olds, like it's crazy, like from this month till now, right? So maybe in the summer, from the summer to now, I've seen such a great difference in like whether, you know, they're using speech more, or they're like being more mobile or, you know, active and all that stuff, just depending, or they're being their own self as well, like, you know.
And it reminds you what life is all about in
Yeah.
a way. Like, holy shit, like that's me all the time. Kind of like how you made the connection between, like in your life, you're feeling things out just like the kid is feeling things out. Like
Yeah.
they're doing the exact same thing, just at an accelerated pace. And, like you're just watching their life happen to them. And then, you know, I bet it's crazy too, because how long have you been working with kids now?
About, yeah, I want to say almost 8 months now. In
Oh,
December.
so because I was gonna say, like, once you've done it for years, you'll see those kids.
Oh yeah, I
as
mean when I
getting-
see them, I know when I see them get older and older, like I'm just gonna be like, wow, like I can't believe like who they're becoming, and then I mean that's just like you're just seeing the early years, and then imagine like once they're teenagers, like what are they gonna be doing then, and then as they grow into adults, like it's mind blowing to think about, you know. And then the one thing that surprises me, like I get it, some people don't want kids and all that stuff. But people forget that, like, we were all kids once, too, you know?
Yeah.
And we all had dreams, or we all felt a certain way when we were kids, you know? And, like, I mean, some of us still have that inner child. We all have that inner child, but some of us shun it. Some of us, you know, talk to it and just, you know, in a sense, heal ourselves from like whatever traumas or things that we've gone through in our life. You know, so yeah, it's a beautiful thing, I think. And like for me, I don't know, I always get told like I'm a child at heart, and then sometimes I am, you know, but I'm not like throwing tantrums here and there, you know. But I'm also like I'm just taking life as it is, still being curious about it. Like, oh, what is this? Asking questions, trying to figure out things, you know. Because
Someone once said to me, "Be childlike, not childish," and I thought that was a really good way to put that. But it's I think we're all just kids who grew up. Like I think we're all just kids who eventually grew up, and like that's like a life lesson that you really figure out the older you get is like, holy shit, like when I was younger I thought this was an adult and this was an adult. Yeah. But now I'm that age.
And then we like every person has gone through it where when they were a teenager or they were a kid, I want to be grown up. I want to be doing this. I want to be doing that. And then once we're doing it, we're like, fuck, what the fuck happened? Like, I don't want to be doing this anymore.
Being a kid is actually kind of a nice time. It's a good time. Because once you're older, that amazing wealth of possibility kind of dwindles away in this weird way. It's like you see life, oh shit, life is already happening. Oh my God, I'm 40 years old. Like one day, I know before I know it, that's what I'm gonna be fucking saying.
Yeah, like I think back, I'm like, man, I can't believe like it's been 14 years. Like I was 18, 14 years ago. Now I'm 32. Like, but I still feel youthful. You know, that's the thing. Yeah. And I feel like part of it, sometimes people just lose their youth or they just give up on like, oh, I can't have fun anymore. I gotta, and yeah, you gotta be focused on your things, and you gotta, as long as you're like on top of it, cool. But also learn to have fun, enjoy life, just be free, be yourself, and that's it. And those who will love you, and those who hate on it will hate on it. And at the end of the day, like, just be you.
Yeah, because it's that inner truth. It's like that knowledge that you did what you wanted to do rather than what was expected of you. I think that is what gives you a feeling of gratitude and a feeling of appreciation for like your life, is knowing you made the choice to do what you wanted, not what you felt like you had to do. Because people, that's kind of why I said that thing earlier about like life happens to you at a certain point. At a certain point, life starts to begin happening in such a way where you feel like it's making the choices for you. And it's knowing even in that point of life that you can still make changes and make choices and do things that take hold of this reality that seems to be out of your control. Yep. Like there are ways you can control it. You know, I just, that's one reason I love collaborating and just talking to people, is it blows my mind. I'm like, holy shit, like all I had to do was reach out and say something, and then there this person is.
Yeah, that's how we met, man.
Yeah,
and
that's
here we
how
are.
life is. And like that's, if I didn't take that moment where I decided, like if I didn't go to open mics, I wouldn't be talking to you right now.
Yeah.
If I didn't take that step. If you didn't go to open mics, if you chose not to go
honestly,
that night.
when we met last week, or this week actually, like it was the first time I had gone back to an open mic there at the Red Room, at least, in over a month or so. Like, but honestly, like that night I was like, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling energy. I want to go put my shit out there. I mean, you witnessed it, you know, I witnessed your work, and it was remarkable, man. And that's the thing I love. Just seeing people do their thing, having fun with it, you know. Some people take it seriously, and you know, if that's how you feel about it, you take it seriously, you know. Also, just enjoy it. Enjoy the moment, you know, because we all want to be somewhere so quick, so fast that we forget about the journey, you know. So at the end of the day, this is a beautiful thing, and everything comes full circle. I mean, you know, like we said, you know, we met, and then here we are right now on camera. What's up, everybody? But yeah,
life is what happens when you're busy making plans. Like definitely. I think I was happy when I found Zen Buddhism, because I think it put into words all that concept of like thinking outside of the moment and idealizing things and creating this external reality is actually the worst thing you can do. But it's so human because we're taught like to split things up and to segment, to diversify things and to say I'm black and you're white, or I'm good and you're bad, or I'm this and you're that. And that's like that segregation of ideas is how we were able to survive. And so of course you need to do that. You need to tell whether or not something's poison or if it's good for you when you eat an apple.
Yeah.
And so that thinking is where you get all of these other branches of thinking. What they're saying is that you get rid of all of that and you just experience this right now as it is without any of those external ideas, and that is the true nature of life. And like, to me, that's a beautiful thing. Like, that's what yin and yang is. It's the black and the white, and then it's those as a whole is the duality of it all.
Yeah, because it's a piece. We all have a piece of everybody else. In a sense, yeah.
Or like that thing you said about how, like, what was it about the parents' trauma? What was it you said exactly?
Oh yeah, the one video I saw where basically like we didn't just get the traumas from our families, or from our parents. We also got gifts, which is, you know, parts of themselves that are part of us now.
Yeah.
And that's the beautiful thing, man. I had I think I might have to get going.
Oh no, that's fine. We did a good 2 hours on Ruse Radio just now.
I mean, yeah, we got deep, man. It's just they're hitting me up right now. It's because
we got people standing outside.
Sorry, no, we can finish wrap it up, but yeah, my bad. It's because like I also had to meet some people for some film work and stuff.
It's all right, dude. I was a coke dealer once.
No, but honestly, Ruse, thank you so much for having me, man. Like, this is a great combo, and I'm sorry that I have to cut it, but
oh no, it's fine.
But honestly, great convo, man. Talked about the kids, talked about just life in general, and then us as artists, and it's a beautiful thing. And then the crazy shit in Hollywood, of course.
Oh yeah,
serial killers. There's so much on here on Ruse Radio.
This was a jam-packed episode.
Yes,
folks.
you're gonna love it.
You're gonna love it. If you haven't seen it already, watch it. If you have seen it already, watch it again, because I bet you missed that part when we were talking about adrenochrome. I bet you missed an important detail about
there were so many. Yes,
we've got literal vampires here in Hollywood.
Oh yeah, got a lot of vampires ready to suck your blood. Ooh yeah, yeah.
That was beautiful.
Thank you.
And with all that being said, folks, Ruse Radio, clocking out.
Peace, yo.
I got the world in my pocket, got a girl on my arm, got an eye in my socket, whirlwinds in my palms. I'm a free man, let me lead you along. I can show you something different, let me sing you a song. Ain't no algorithm touch me, ain't no palace this lovely. I find a way to find a way out.